Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. How is everybody doing tonight? Oh, wow, what a day. What a day it has been. It's been incredible. It's been humbling. It's just been absolutely amazing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, earlier I was invited to be on a live stream with Geeks and Gamers, and he made an announcement about me being invited to be a part of the channel and to put out a weekly video. And so we're still working out the details about that. We still haven't decided on anything quite yet, but man, I'm so excited. And you can tell I was definitely like geeking out, freaking out for a while, but I was trying to like hold it back, hold it together for as long as I could. But man, it was just incredible. The chat was insane. I mean, obviously, I've never had those many people in a chat before, and it was just so hard to keep. I was seeing a lot of you guys' comments in there, and I was trying to read them all, but of course, I didn't want to constantly interrupt Jeremy. I didn't want to constantly interrupt the stream, so that's the reason why I didn't get to shout y'all out as much as I would have liked to. But that's another reason why I wanted to do a live stream tonight, so that way we could talk about any of the questions or any of the comments that you may have made in there. I did try and get Mex. I know Mex asked me to do the pencil beer, so I was able to get that in right at the very end. So I was very glad to get that in, and I was able to shout out my Valkyrie, who are always amazing. And yeah, so let me go ahead and get the chat up. So my puppies are awake. My puppies are outside the door because I don't trust them in here because I don't want to have a poop scoop stream again. So let me just get this tweeted out. Well, first things first, I need to actually get the video link. But how is everyone doing? Did you enjoy the live stream? If you were part of the live stream, please let me know. I would love to hear your feedback on that. Any recommendations? I know that I was able to watch it back for like a little while, maybe like a few minutes ago, and I noticed that my video is not very good. That's a lot has to do with that because of my webcam and because I really do hope to be able to to improve that in the future. But any feedback, any criticism, any constructive criticism, I would greatly appreciate. And y'all are amazing, and I love every single one of you. So let me just see if I can get this chat up. All right, it's actually showing up in my any criticism. There we go. All right, 6 likes already. All right, yeah, again, guys, if you're in here, please smash the like button. I would greatly appreciate that. Brad Noble says, first, what's up, troll Brad? I was appreciating your comments in the stream earlier. Brad Noble says, dance, dance, dance party. Jake M says, what up, Odin? Back at it, always grinding. Yes, thank you, Jake M, and I appreciated your comments in there. I tried to shout you out in the chat, so thank you so much for joining that one, and thanks for joining this one as well. And yeah, always grinding, always grinding. My wife's out of town again. She's back home with her parents in another part of Louisiana, so I have a little bit more time to live stream, so I'm very excited. Let's see, Voorhees67, what's up, Voorhees? Was appreciating your comments in the chat. James Reese, what's up, James Reese? Welcome to the chat. Cool stuff. Congrats, Odin. Well, thank you very much, James. I appreciate that. Let's see, Donald Hudson says, Asgardians assemble. Yes, indeed, Donald Hudson. He says, well done today, Odin. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that so much. Let's see, Jedi Starship says, late blog. Yeah, I mean, this is about the time that I've been doing it the last couple of days because I've had to hang out with my wife. And so that's the reason why I've been having to push it back to 9 because she was sick. And so this was around the time that she went to bed. But yeah, she's not here today. My dogs are right outside my door, so I might have to let them in at some point if they start getting upset. But yeah, always great to be here. Let's see. Jeffrey Toon says, hello. What's up, Jeffrey Toon? Tina says, made it home from my book club in time. Awesome to hear that, Tina. I gave you a shout out on the stream earlier because you are awesome. You and Steph are both awesome. You are my Valkyries, and I love y'all so much. Jedi Starship says, that was a good stream with Geeks. Well, thank you very much, Jedi Starship. I appreciate that. I had a lot of fun, so I hope everyone else did. I was having a blast, and I really can't wait to do it again, and really can't wait to get involved with the Geeks and Gamers community. It's just really exciting. I honestly still can't believe it. It's amazing. Let's see. Donald Hudson says, auto like engage. Well, thank you, Donald Hudson. Again, hit that like button. Again, it does not take very long, and I appreciate it. Jake M says, that was a great stream. I'm happy for Asgard. Well, thank you very much, Jake. I appreciate that. I am too. It's just, I mean, again, it's so amazing. I am honestly still kind of speechless about what happened. And yeah, he mentioned it to me right before he went on, and then halfway through, he made that announcement, and yeah, it was just amazing. It was just amazing. I honestly, I was not expecting that. I just, yeah, I'm still speechless on it. So I'm so incredibly thankful to Jeremy. He was awesome, and he's an awesome guy. So I'm so glad to be a part of that community now. Let's see. 70B says, hey everybody, what is up, Steph? Great to have you here as always. Jedi Starship says, yeah, you were great. Everyone loved you. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Big B, what's up, Big B? Welcome to the chat. Good stream, Odin. You saw my Bill Goldberg. Thanks for that. Yes, I did, and I appreciated it so much. I mean, Goldberg was probably one of my favorite wrestlers during the WCW era. Now, was he the greatest wrestler, like in-ring style? No, but he was great. I mean, he was a badass who won in seconds, and the streak, and just so many things about Bill Goldberg that I love. And I will say this: his return recently, over the last couple of years, was actually really well done. That with Brock Lesnar, it was actually really fantastic. Tina says, I need something happy. The book was awful and depressing. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully we can turn that around tonight. Hopefully we can keep things positive and make you happy. Jedi Starship says, number 8, System Error. What's up, System Error? Welcome back. Great job on Geeks and Gamers. Odin, you have good chemistry with Jeremy. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really do think that we were able to hit off each other a lot, and the fact that we have a lot of interest was fun too. I was really glad I was able to get in a couple of, well, we don't agree on everything comments, because I thought that was fun back and forth. I loved when we were doing the wrestling. You're fired. Like, that was just so much fun. JC James M says, very much enjoy the live stream, Odin. Great insight as per usual. Well, thank you, James N. I appreciate that. Cobra Kaiser Soze, what's up, Cobra Kaiser Soze? I saw your name in the chat. Says, Odin, you're killing it lately. Well, thank you very much, Cobra. I appreciate that so much, and thank you for joining us once again. Always great to have you here. Mex says, the live stream with Jeremy was one of the most fun I've seen in a while. Oh, great. Awesome. Wow. Thank you so much, because I mean, I've seen some of his live stream. If you have not checked out his live stream from last night with Rebel Force Radio, please do, because it's really insightful and it's really fun. And I've actually never I listen to a lot of podcasts, but that was one podcast I never listened to. Now I definitely am going to check them out, because the guy that I had on was just fantastic. It was really incredible. Brad Noble says, I'll mess with Jeremy all the time. Mess with Jeremy all the time. You mess with all of us all the time, Brad. That's why you're a pet troll. System Error says, I tried to comment on the Geeks and Gamers chat, but I think Jeremy muted me or something after I pwned him in argumentation. Well, I think it's because actually seeing it, sometimes the chat just jumps so much. And then, of course, Jeremy's having to deal with the super chats. And so it's really hard. For the whole first hour, I did not have the chat in front of me, because I was waiting for a Twitter notification for him to tweet out the stream, but I never got. So when I finally saw the stream link, I was able to finally open it up and open up the chat. And so that's when I was able to start, adding in and trying to shout you guys out as much as I could. Mex says, our resident troll was on fire in the stream. Yeah, from the little bit I saw, he was indeed on fire. James Reese, what's up? He says, did good, Odin. Keep it up. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Jeffrey Toon, 1.5 subscribers. Yes, I have finally hit 1.5 thousand subscribers. I'm incredibly grateful for every single one of them, especially all the ones who are here right now. And yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, when he did that video earlier today, that's when, because I was at work, and so every now and then I check, Twitter, I did it again. I checked my YouTube as well, and I was just seeing this random increase of numbers. I was like, I haven't seen this in a while, because over the past couple weeks, especially the rate's been going down, which is fine. It's pretty normal. And so when I finally saw that he did a video on me and he shared the video link, I was like, oh, this makes so much more sense, and it's really awesome. So yeah, we're almost to 2,000, and once we hit 2,000 subs, that's when I put the Chewy onesie back on. And then remember, once we hit 5,000 subs, that is when I do the live stream outside of a Popeyes, eating Popeyes in a Chewy onesie. So you have that to look forward to. Let's see. Cobra Kaiser Soze says, Odin, follow me back on Twitter. My book is coming out in December. Much appreciated, even though it's not about Star Wars. Okay, yeah. So can you at least tweet at me or possibly message me, so that way I know who you are, because I know sometimes names on YouTube aren't the same on Twitter. So please do that, and I will love to follow you back to find out more about that. Let's see. Brad Noble says, got a thunderstorm rolling, might be Steph's wrath. Yes, indeed. Tina says, congrats on the Geeks and Gamers. Has it aired then? I need to catch it. Yes, it's already aired. It's already up, and it's available. So yeah, go check out the Geeks and Gamers stream for that. Let's see. Jedi Starship says, wow, Odin, you're a maniac. Live stream here, live stream there. You're a monster. Who needs coffee? There was a forced adrenaline going on here. Yeah, I know. And it's funny because I don't drink coffee. I mean, I literally, my water, that's what I drink. I drink that, I drink milk, and I sometimes drink Powerade. So yeah, I don't know how I have the energy for it either. Again, I have fun. I mentioned this on the Geeks and Gamers stream. I do this because I have fun. If I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't be doing this. And y'all make this so much fun. So that's the reason why I don't feel it. That's why I'm able to go 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 3.5 hours. And it flies by for me because I just have so much fun. Wow, we have 30 people in here. Damn. We're getting huge. Let's see. Mex says, you know what you need, Odin? Your very own huggin' and muggin' for the channel. Huggin' and muggin'. Please explain that to me. I don't catch that reference. Please explain. Mex says, Goldberg was a man of few words, and that helped him to stand out among the other wrestlers who only knew how to posture and strut. I agree. And actually, that's the reason why I loved the Crow version of Sting. because he didn't talk. And I felt like it added something to his character. It's very similar to Goldberg. And so I was very happy when they did that. But yeah, I totally agree with you there. I really do think that Goldberg did stand out because of that. But I thought also the Crow version of Sting was great too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, classic Sting's great. And when Sting started talking, it was cool. But I still like that classic Sting that didn't talk. Let's see. Brad Noble says, Odin, tell Steph to quit trolling me. No, you quit trolling Steph. Steph is a Valkyrie, and I will have her back always. Always. Jimmy, what's up, Jimmy? You guys work well together. Well, thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate that very much. Mark Chamber, what's up, Mark? Yes, welcome back. He says, Odin, do you think John was sincere with his apologies and the tweets to you and me? Well, thank you, Mark. I know that you tweeted at me because you wanted us to talk a little bit more about the John Kasdan tweets. I'm all over the place tonight. But unfortunately, because of just the chats and everything else, all the other topics we were talking about, we weren't able to go much further into it. But I'm kind of mixed on this. I mentioned this in the stream. I'm kind of mixed on it. I hope that he's sincere. And I honestly can't tell because we've seen sarcasm from him before, because we don't know what his intentions actually are. It's hard to really tell if John Kasdan is actually being sincere. I mean, the fact that he, again, a Hollywood screenwriter, reached out to me and had a long 2-day conversation with me over Twitter, to me is enough for me to want to and to be somewhat confident that he's being sincere. But he did have a couple of comments in there that definitely came across as having a hidden meaning to them that I wasn't a huge fan of. So that's the reason why I'm kind of mixed on it still. So yeah, that's how I feel about that, Mark. I know that you feel that he is being sincere, and I think that that's a valid interpretation of what he's been given. But he does have a history of not really being that way with the fan base. And so that's the reason why I'm still being very cautious about it. So I'm not going to say that he is a jerk. I'm not going to say that he is someone who is just, acting. But I honestly don't know. And I think that shows you when you're being sincere in your words, and yet you still can't be trusted. That tells you a lot about your perception or the way a lot of other people perceive you. And so hopefully if he is being sincere, he's able to prove it. He's able to, put his money where his mouth is. Donald Hudson says, you can't troll a troll. It's true. Jeffrey Toon says, my dad liked Goldberg. Goldberg was fantastic. Mex says, love the pencil beard at the end of the stream. Yeah, I saw that comment and I didn't know how to bring that into the discussion because I hated the fact there were a few times where I was cutting Jeremy off and I felt so bad because I was like, no, this is his stream. I can't just keep, barging in like this. And so I tried to hold back as much as I could until he invited me to talk. And, but I saw that comment. And so at the very end, I thought to myself, okay, I need to give a shout out to Mex. I need to do the pencil beard. And so I was glad I was able to get that in at the very end. Let's see. Richard Rich says, if Jeremy asks you to sign in blood, just make sure it's not yours. Okay. Yeah. I don't think he's going to ask me to do that. Thank God. But thanks for the advice. Let's see. Brad Noble says, Jeremy called me out before Odin. Well, I can imagine because you're a troll. So who wouldn't call you out? I call you out when I can. Brad Noble says, love talking that smack. System Error says, FYI, Odin, your Kasdan kerfuffle also got mentioned just now by Stephanie Jasinek on the reviews for you, chat. They think it's a sign that the hammer is coming down at Clueless Film. I think that might be true. I mean, it's really hard to tell. Again, is he being sincere? Is this coming from the top? Is someone telling him to be this way? It's hard to tell. But I do think, and Jeremy kind of touched on this earlier too, is I do think them announcing the Clone Wars coming back, I think that is a sign that they are starting to listen to the fans. Now, it could be that this was in the plans all along, but it just seems like, Jonathan Kasdan's now being very cordial. Now this is coming back, and I think that we might see more announcements like this coming out in the future because I really do think that they are turning the tide. I really do think that they are changing, and hopefully it leads to Kathleen Kennedy being gone because, as I said before, she might be good at certain things. She's not good at running the Star Wars universe because she obviously does not have a huge passion for it, and also she's not a forward-thinking executive, and that's what Star Wars needs. Star Wars needs someone like a Kevin Feige who's going to be able to make 20 films in 10 years and be able to have a huge vision for the film, for the film franchise, because this whole talk of just, Star Wars fatigue and movie fatigue, it just does not hold up when you put it to scrutiny. And I really do think the reason why is because Kathleen Kennedy is not the executive that they need at this point. I really don't think. Let's see. Tina says, congrats on the new subscribers. You deserve it. Well, thank you very much, Tina. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, today was just crazy. I mean, I think by the end of the day, we might have gone up like over 100 subs, and that's just insane. Like, that's amazing. So thank anyone that's new. Thank you very much. Everyone who's been here for a while, thank you. And also, Waben, if you're in here, he said, what about those guys who joined in the middle? Again, I appreciate every single one of my subs because, again, without any of y'all, I would be a guy talking to no one. And so y'all are the reason why I'm here. Y'all are the reason why I keep staying here. And I love y'all. So thank y'all so much for being a part of this. Let's see. Brad Noble says, Twek check. Jedi Starship says, I still think that once you're done with Cowboy Bebop stuff, maybe you can brush up a little on the Star Wars EU stuff, especially when it comes to other live streams. Yes. I definitely agree with you. So I actually just watched another episode of Cowboy Bebop. So now I'm 6 full episodes into Cowboy Bebop. And I've also finished another chapter of the Thrawn trilogy, or the book 1 of the Thrawn trilogy. And I'm loving it. I'm still loving it. I mean, it's read so cinematically that I can just see it in my mind. And I want to see it. I want to see Thrawn. I want to see Thrawn either. Again, I want to see that book, though. I want to see the Thrawn trilogy itself, either in an animated series, an animated movie, or even a live action film would be really cool. But again, once Lucasfilm actually understands what they're doing, I think that would make a huge difference for sure. But yeah, I would love to talk about that on future streams. And I was glad I was able to bring up some of the extended universe with Jeremy on the chat as well, because I think that that's something that a lot of people want to see talked about more. I know Lethal Lightning, who's another person that's on this channel all the time. He has a really great channel himself. I know that's something that he likes to talk about is the extended universe. He likes to talk about Legends. And he's the one that's giving me a lot of really great, a lot of other people in the chat too. Mex is another one. A lot of really great recommendations on extended universe stuff. So I want to dive in for sure. So I definitely would feel, I definitely want to keep on adding to that. Rat Boy, what's up, Rat Boy? I just now got the notification. Okay. Well, I'm glad you got something, Rat Boy, because it's better than getting nothing. But thank you so much for joining us once again. Donald Hudson says, I thought we were doing a beard pool live stream. What's a beard pool live stream? I know, is that a Deadpool reference? What is beard pool? Arne says, what up, Arne? Arne pronounced with E like in Spanish here. Okay, Arne. So Arne, okay. Again, I like when you tell me how to say your name because sometimes I butcher them. So thank you, Arne. Mech says, I'm on the same page. Definitely finish Cowboy Bebop and maybe catch a little more on the EU for the future. Definitely. Absolutely. So again, I'm going to keep on listening to my audiobook of the Thrawn trilogy. Again, I'm going to try and get through book 1 as fast as I can. And my plan is with my membership with Audible, I'm going to try and get books 2 and 3 so I continue that. And I'm definitely going to keep watching Cowboy Bebop because it's a great show. It's fantastic. And thank you, Mex, for recommending it. Jeffrey Toon says, I have a beard. Well, is it as great as mine? Can you put pencils in it? Let me know. Let's see. Brad Bernoble says, let's talk about how much better Odin's beard is than Jeremy's. No contest. I don't even think that he would debate that, but I think he has the better hair. For one, he's not balding like I am, but also he's got better hair, I would say. Jeffrey Toon says, Anita Sarkeesian has a better beard than Jeremy. Oh, Sarkeesian. Isn't that the Young Turks woman who man. Mex says, in Norse mythology, Hugin from Old Norse thought and Munin, I misspelled it, are a pair of ravens that fly all over the world, Midgard, and bring information to the god Odin. Okay, yeah. So obviously, I know my name is Odin, so I know a little bit about Norse mythology. I'm definitely not extremely well read on it, but thank you for that. Yeah. I need to get some pet crows. That would be really cool. Some pet ravens. Jake M says that conversation with John Kasdan was funny. He was just ignoring half the questions. Yeah, he was. And this is something that I want to talk about in the stream. There were 2 comments in particular. One I talked about in my video today, where I mentioned how he made that comment about how SJW is the same as racist sexist, which I kind of just called him out on, and he kind of backed off because he realized, yeah, I can't win that argument. It's not the same thing. You cannot say that calling someone a social justice warrior is just as bad or as condescending as calling someone a racist or a sexist. They have totally different meanings, and when you break down the words themselves, you can tell that they are very, very different. But the other point I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to talk about it in the live stream, but unfortunately, we just didn't have the time. We just didn't have the capacity to bring it up in the conversation. But it was the fact that he at one point tried to question the numbers that I had. So I've been saying for a very long time that I think Solo is going to lose $200 million. And he questioned that and said, I don't know where you're getting your information from. I said, well, boxofficemojo.com, and just using math and just, using reason and intellect. And then he says, well, the numbers that I have, from the people who worked on the film are very different. And I said to him, okay, so what are those numbers? Give me the proof. And he couldn't do it. He basically said, I have numbers that say that this film is not going to lose money and didn't cost that much to make. And yet he won't give the facts. He won't give the numbers. He won't even give the numbers themselves. So he's trying to basically say, well, my numbers say that I'm right. It's like, well, you can't just do that. You have to give me the numbers. You have to give me something to work with. Again, I gave you boxofficemojo.com. I showed you the math. I showed you how I got to the numbers that I got to. And all you say is, well, my numbers say differently, but you don't give me the numbers. You don't break it down for me. So that was another big thing. Like, those are the 2 big things that I had a problem with especially with the conversation, where I felt like John was really being insincere, that he was really just, not understanding the conversation. Wow, we're up to 40 people. That's insane. But that's the reason why I think that he ended up doing that in the end. So let's see. Jake M says that conversation with John Kasdan was funny. Okay, he was actually like, answer that one. Jeffrey Toon says, damn straight. Brad Noble, well done, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Jake M says, Or my bad, I think it was Brian Young or whatever that was ignoring half the questions. Yeah. So again, those are the only two big moments for me with John Kasdan, but Brian Young ignores every question that he's asked. I mean, he still has not answered the question about toy sales being miserable. He still hasn't answered the question about whether attacking the fans is good business strategy. He just denies that anyone is attacking the fans while he actually starts to attack the fans. So yeah, Brian Johnson is, I keep saying Brian Johnson because he's just like Ryan Johnson. But Brian Young is just not helping his cause at all. And yeah, I actually, someone sent me pictures of screenshots of a conversation that they were having with Brian Young. So I can't wait to dive into those to try and expose this even more so, because if you haven't checked him out, go check out his Twitter because his conversations are just ludicrous. Super says, hello again, Odin. What is up, Super? How are you feeling after live stream? I'm feeling so many different emotions. I'm excited. I'm grateful. I'm humbled just because I honestly never thought I would ever be at this point. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing. And thank you guys for being so supportive and for, getting me to this point, because as I say, and I mean this honestly, I would not be here without you guys. You are the ones that drive me. You are the ones that give me the motivation to keep moving forward. And so thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for being a part of my life. It's not just, you're not just viewers on my channel. You are a part of my life now. Again, I always say that this community is like a small family, and I truly do mean that, because I just appreciate every single one of you guys. So thank you so much. I really do greatly appreciate it. Thank you. See, Super, I got that one. It says, Brando says, DTA Odin. Ratboy says, you did great on Geeks and Gamers, sir. You were on with Jeremy, and he mentioned bringing on Cecil. I'm like, is this a Make-A-Wish Foundation? Is Odin dying? I really was. When he mentioned Cecil, I was like, oh my God, I get to talk to Jeremy and Cecil at the same time. And then unfortunately, I think Cecil got busy with something because I don't think he got back in the chat at any point. But man, if Cecil had joined the chat, I would have been. But the fact that I've been invited to be a part of Geeks and Gamers now makes me think that I might have a better chance of being on a stream with Cecil. And if that ever happens too, like, it's going to be like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be geeking out so much. I love Cecil so much. Brandon says, Stone Cold taught me all I know. I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. One of my all-time favorite for classic wrestling. He's he's probably my all-time favorite classic wrestler. My most modern favorite wrestler would probably be CM Punk for a lot of different reasons. Let's see, Jeffrey Tune says, Jerry and Frecky, Odin doggies. Yes. Let's see, Donald Hudson says, watching you trying hard to not nerd out was fantastic. There were a couple times you were close. I really was. Like, there were times, like, my hand went over my mouth, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe. Like, you have no idea. Like, when he sent me the link for the stream and I saw his face, I was like, oh my goodness, it's Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. This is amazing. It's so fantastic. So yeah, thank you so much for that. And I'm glad that you were able to see it, because I really was freaking out. Jedi Starship says, woohoo, Clone Wars, the unfinished episodes. Yes, I agree. And I was wrong. I thought I was 10 episodes in. I just finished episode 7 of the Clone Wars. So I'm slowly but surely getting through it. But yeah, it's fantastic. So I'm very excited for that. I've just heard that the season, as Jeremy says, it goes in so many really cool directions. So I can't wait to go on that journey. I can't wait to get to that point and to be able to finish the series, and also, of course, to move on to Rebels too. Even though, of course, I hear Rebels is not as good, I still really like the story elements that I've heard that exist in Rebels, and some of the characters that exist in Rebels, and how they tie into the extended universe as well. So I think that could be really cool. But yeah, that's awesome. And again, I really do think the most exciting part of this announcement about Clone Wars being brought back for one more season is that I think this might just be Lucasfilm and Disney starting to say, okay, we need to start listening to the fans. We need to start giving them things that they want, because that's how businesses run. Like, that's what's bothered me about this whole thing. That's not how you run a business. You don't attack the fans. You don't sit by and watch your fans get attacked. Like, that to me is what bothered me the most, is that, you have Pablo Hidalgo, Chuck Wendig, and Ryan Johnson saying all these things, and then Disney, Lucasfilm just don't say anything. Don't say, we don't hold these positions, we love our fans, etc. They never do. And it just doesn't make any sense. So it looks like they're finally getting back to a business strategy. So let's hope that they're making some changes, especially at the top of Lucasfilm, because that would be amazing. C-Dog, what is up, C-Dog? 246, he says, what's up, fellow man babies and woman babies? So what's new with Disney crap wars today? Yes, we are all man and woman babies in the chat. Wow, oh my God, we're over 50, guys. I think this might be the highest number we've ever had. So wow, thank you so much. For anyone that's watching that's new, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Please hit that like button, man. It does not take very long, and I appreciate it so much. Y'all are amazing. Those two ball guys says, hey, Odin, just saw you were live, so wanted to say, hey, really quickly, the Geeks and Gamers show was good fun. Well, thank you so much. Those two ball guys, they are one of my patrons, so thank you so much for joining the stream for as long as you can. And yeah, and they have a channel that's about to go live, and so I can't wait to see more. Let's see. Elric Huyuga. I don't know if I said that right. I don't know if I said that right. Oats Me Blog, hello. First time on watching one of your live streams. I believe the Ahsoka in the trailer knows about Order 66 and there to stop Anakin before that happens. Just look at her face. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the actual trailer yet because obviously today has just been crazy. But and also too, I don't want to be spoiled on anything. Let me know if the trailer has any spoilers for someone who has just started the Clone Wars series, because if it hasn't, I'm definitely gonna want to watch that at some point. But that sounds just already, because since I already know Order 66, I know who Ahsoka is, and I know the relationship that Ahsoka has with Anakin, and just like, you know, almost like the fatherly, the father-daughter relationship that seems to exist, at least at the point that I'm watching the show. So yeah, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to see that. Let's see, Don Hudson says, I think the Clone Wars being on the Disney streaming service is going to really hurt it. I know I'm not getting another streaming service. Yeah, I definitely understand that. But and here's the real question. What is Disney going to offer on the streaming service? Because if they offer their entire vast library of Disney films, if they offer near instant new films, like say like a month or 2 months, probably 2 months would be more realistic. 2 months after a film's release, it's on the streaming service. If they add things like that, it might just be enough to entice someone like me and probably someone like Jeremy to actually join the service. Because I agree, I have a lot of services already too, and I'm just not at the point where I want to add on another one. But if they offer that kind of content, it might be hard to turn away. So that's the reason why I'm still hesitant. I'm still hesitant on that. Brad Noble says, digital cookies won't get you out of chat jail. No, they will not. Digital cookies will not save you. And for anyone that's new to the chat, so you're probably thinking, what the hell is a digital cookie? So that's something that I give. It's a digital cookie. I wish I could give you real cookies, but unfortunately I can't fit them through the camera quite just yet. So I give out digital cookies if I have a really great comment, if something makes me laugh, if there's just something that's really awesome that happens, I give that person a digital cookie. And the way it works is that for that live stream, at the very end of the live stream, at this point, we don't have it. Right now, the cookies are kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyway, where the points just don't matter. But basically, as soon as I get any extra cash, if YouTube ever decides to monetize my channel and I get any of that extra income from ads or anything, that money's all going back into the channel, including all of my live streams where I will give away a free digital download of a new film probably, or I haven't really decided it quite yet since I haven't done it yet, but you're going to get a free digital if you are chosen. So if you get a digital cookie, you're automatically put in the running for that live stream. And at the very end of the live stream, I will choose someone at random from the people who win digital cookies. And what they will do is they will get a free digital copy of any movie, or possibly, especially if you're in the United States, you might get shipped an actual Blu-ray of a film as well, since I have a huge Blu-ray collection, and I know that there's a lot of them that I would be willing to part with, and they're really good movies. Like, it's not like, yeah, there's really crappy movies that I want to get off. And it's like, no, they're good films. It's just that I have the digital copies of them, and so I would be willing to, give out the Blu-rays too. So that's what I plan on doing in the future. But of course, I need, YouTube to finally act upon it, especially now that we're up to 1,500 subscribers, which is insane for me. But that's what digital cookies are. So for anyone that's new, that's what that is. Anyway, back to the content. All right. Jason Clark says, I think Clone Wars is just a Band-Aid. They're trying to win back fans before episode 9 because they don't want it to fail financially like Solo. I can see where you're coming from. I definitely agree with that Band-Aid aspect to what they're doing, but I still do hold out hope. As I always say, I try and stay as hopeful as I can. And if this is the first step towards them reaching out to the fans and saying, we messed up, we know that we made a mistake, and we're going to do our best to try and regain your trust. If this is their first step back, then I think it's a good step, because I think a lot of people are excited about Clone Wars. But as you said, they need to do more than just that. They can't just say, oh, here's Clone Wars, come back and watch episode 9. Again, most people who probably heard this news today said, great, but now I'm worried because they might mess up Clone Wars. That's like the instant reaction. So it's one of those things where they really do need to do a lot of work to regain the trust of the fans, for sure. Brandon says, worthless. Jedi Starship says, maybe they want to desensitize the fans by giving so much Star Wars material that we forget about The Last Jedi. Yeah, if they think that's going to happen, there's no chance in hell. There's no chance in hell people are going to forget about that for sure. Sith Lord Luke Skywalker Odin, what is up, Sith Lord? Welcome back to the chat. Go check him out on Twitter. He's great. Let's see. Mex says, there is a comic adaptation available of the Thrawn trilogy. Oh, comic book. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not huge into comics myself. I do like them from time to time, but I'm not a huge comic enthusiast, but I'm loving the audiobook already. So I do better with audiobooks than I do with comics or graphic novels, but the audiobook's fantastic. So I would love to see an animated series or a movie. Let's see. Brad Noble says, just subbed up Lethal. Awesome. Please. Yes. Go check out Lethal Lightning's channel. He's awesome. Let's see. Derek James Raven says John Kasdan's new engagement tactic. It's a trap. Yeah, pretty much. It's a trap. Lando Calrissian, what's up, Lando? By the beard of Odin, it's sexy in here. It's only sexy in here because you're in here, Lando, and you are a sexy beast, except when you try and get with the robots. So Lords Luke Skyward says, cool to see you on Geeks and Gamers. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it was insane. Like, I was freaking out and so nervous. I was sweating because I was just like, oh, don't mess up. Don't mess up. And yeah, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Super says, whether Kasdan was being genuine or not, just the fact that he's willing to interact with you proves that he isn't as crazy as most SJWs. I agree with you there. So again, whether he's genuine or not, that's something where it's up in the air, but he is definitely not as bad as a Chuck Wendig or a Ruin Johnson. That is absolutely a fact. The fact that he was able to engage with me over 2 days, almost instantaneously sometimes with his responses, tells me that he is at least trying to reach out in some capacity. And I do appreciate that aspect to it. So again, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. He did reach out to me and he did keep up in the conversation. He did not just, ignore me. And I thought that was, I got to give that credit where credit's due. I think there's still a lot of problems with especially what he thinks about his film in particular, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's see. Sea-Dog says, I'm cashing in my virtual cookies today, calling you out to do a second viewing of Rogue One ASAP. Well, if only that was the way that digital cookies worked, but I do plan on watching Rogue One again. Maybe I can do a live stream. Maybe I can do a live stream where I watch Rogue One, so that way you can see my instant reactions and you can hear my actual commentary on the film, but I definitely plan on seeing Rogue One again. I do want to like that film. I really do. Dalhazard says, yes, Deadpool, but with the mask cut to show your glorious beard. Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Max says BRB. Brad Noble says, damn, it's Lando, my old buddy. Watch out for Steph. Jeffrey Toon says, I managed to get a copy of the Michael Reeves novel, Darth Maul Shadowhunter, with a short story called Darth Maul Saboteur. Like I've said before, I really want to go back into reading. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, again, I really want to dive further into the extended universe stuff, the stuff that's part of Legends for sure. And I'm loving so far what I'm getting with Thrawn. So the Joe Show, what is up? The Joe Show, enjoyed your Geeks and Gamers live stream. Well done. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that so much. And thanks for joining us. I believe, aren't you that meme guy? I see your profile picture. Aren't you that meme guy on Twitter? Because if you are, keep making those memes, man, because they are amazing. And Stephanie, I think that you know who I'm talking about. If you can give that person's Twitter handle out in the chat, because, oh my goodness, everything you're doing is fantastic. Jedi Starship says, droids planning. Let's see. Super Anime says, Anna Kasparian is Young Turks. Sarkeesian is the feminist video game blogger who rants about fake sexism and racism and called Sargon of Akkad a garbage human based on his beliefs. Oh, well, thank you very much for that clarification. Sounds like they both suck, though, so I wasn't too far off. Jay Chimpanski, what is up? He says, hi, everybody. What is up, Jay? Brad Noble says, more into stormtrooper spreading. Those two ball guys, droid splaining equals pure gold hilarity. I would agree with you there. Jeffrey Toon says, I also got the complete Pink Panther movie DVD collection, so I had a good day. Nice. Do you mean I hope you mean the original Pink Panther, not the new ones. Again, I love Steve Martin, but those new ones just looked awful. Don Hudson says, droid splaining is a good way to screw up your hyperdrive. Yes, especially when you're doing hyperspace ramming. RTE says, 38 watching. Congrats, Odin. We're up to 45 now. I mean, we were hovering around 50, a little over 50. So, yeah, it's insane right now. It's crazy. And I appreciate every single person. Cobra says, Anita Sarkeesian has a tattoo of herself freeing a butterfly on her lower back. Is that true? Are you just like being sarcastic, or is that true? Because part of me believes that she might actually have that, because that would not surprise me. Based on what I've heard about her so far, would not surprise me if that was the case. Sea-Dog says, a Rogue One live streaming viewing is what you owe me, buddy. Hey, again, I'm willing to do that. If we have a lot of people that are interested in that, I would be up for it. Jeffrey Toon says, yeah, Anita Sarkeesian is toxic femininity. Sounds like it. Really does. Lando says, arguing without reason or facts is a sin of Odin. You're damn right about that. If you don't have your facts and figures straight and you try and argue with me, it is indeed a sin. Dalhazard says, 42 watching, a new record. Yeah, again, we had to like 52, 53 people. So we've hit a new record already. And to have this sustained at this point, over 40, is incredible. So thank you, everyone that's watching. Super says, to play devil's advocate, you are a member of the public. So if he gave you legit figures, Disney might have killed him. But I do think your figures are pretty accurate. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. It's kind of like that insider training aspect to it, that maybe he honestly can't share that. But the fact that he wouldn't even give me numbers, or the fact that he wouldn't even give me more information, just that, oh, I know more than you, and so therefore I'm right, just doesn't sit well with me. Again, I want you to be able to prove it. And then when he questioned my math, I was like, no, just again, you can do the math yourself, and you can see that you needed to make like roughly $715 million to break even. You're not even going to hit 400 million. So you're going to have at least 200 million, if not more, of a loss. And he tried to say there were more avenues of revenue. And I guess he meant like streaming, and he meant Blu-ray and DVD sales, and maybe also toy sales. But you cannot tell me that the Solo Star Wars story is going to make $200 million plus worth of money from it. I just can't see it. But I think that might be accurate. So I appreciate you. Brando says, time to mix a drink. Sounds good. Don Hudson says, like that smash button. Damn right. Jay says, Ray Wookiee-splained to Luke. I'm still having a hard time with that. I agree with you. Jedi Starship says, is 42 a record I haven't been tracking? Definitely the last time, the highest one that I've had before, I think was around 43, 44. We've already hit over that. We're starting to lose a few people, but I understand that. There's a lot of people streaming, including Ethan Van Sciver streaming right now. So I understand that. I'm just happy for, again, if we even have it small, even when there was like 10 or 15 people on some of these streams, we always have a good time. So I always appreciate you guys. Perth Comics, I saw you in the live stream earlier. Perth Comics, what is up, Perth Comics? Welcome to the chat. Hail Lord Odin. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. RT says 45 watching. Got to be people coming over from Geeks and Gamers. I would assume so. And again, I'm very thankful. So thank y'all for being here. So Lord says awesome. Ditto. 70B says hit that like button and sub. It's for free, please. And thank you. It is. So please do that. I'd appreciate it. Jason Clark says I call him Brian Johnson Young. That sounds about right. Jeffrey Toon says 49 at my end. RT says almost 50. Yeah, at one point we hit over 53. Let's see, it's 924 in the chat. It's 939 here, so we are doing quite well right now. Derek says it doesn't matter how much money it made or lost. It's the Star Wars film that put the stake in the heart of original trilogy fans. I see zero interest from original trilogy fans for the future of Star Wars. Yeah, unless they're able to make a huge change of direction. I think you're right on about that. Perth Comics says Cecil probably had to go and get drunk. Yeah, I do think that. I really do. And again, I'm sure at some point, especially since Jeremy's now welcomed me into the Geeks Gamers family, I still can't, it's still hard for me to say that. Like, I just honestly still can't believe it. I really hope that means I'll have a chance to have a live stream with Cecil at one point. That'd be so much fun. RT says 50, it's official. Yes, thank you. Mech says, anyone else notice that Mundane Matt was in the stream with Geeks and Gamers for a little while? I didn't see that. Again, I wasn't able to stay in the chat for a lot of the time, so unfortunately, that is the case. Donald Hudson says, time to pop a St. Julian's non-alcoholic champagne. Bravo, Odin. Cheers. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And thanks for drinking the non-alcoholic brand because you know I don't drink. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Jay Chimpanski says, Cecil is the life giver. Cecil is life. Cecil is Bay. The Force is Cecil. Someone make a shirt. Brandon says, is Cecil here, Steph? Not at this point, I don't think. Perth Comic says, welcome to the big leagues, Odin. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Again, I still see myself as being like a single A ball club at this point, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. Lando says Cecil's teachings on woke Ewoks is unparalleled. I still love his commentary on The Wizard of Oz. That commentary is my favorite, especially with him singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow at the very end. Jason Clark says Odin was geeking out pretty hard on Geeks and Gamers. It was funny to see. I really was. It was just, man, it was so amazing. It really was. 2 hours flew by. Sea-Dog says, they are bringing the Clone Wars back after Pablo Hidalgo stated the series was canned due to the viewership aging out. What pure garbage. Yep, I agree with you there. Tina says, welcome to all the new members since we have 50 people watching right now. Thank you, Tina, for that. Again, we did have 50 back at 926. Again, we still have a solid 35 in here. We're still doing quite well. Derek says, Rogue One goes down as the last Star Wars film in tone. I think a lot of people feel that way for sure. Brad Noble says, I made a vodka tonic. Good for you. Nickel Noodles, what's up, Nickel Noodles? Odin, congrats. Great job with Jeremy earlier. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you for your chats as well. I appreciate him so much. And you were fantastic. Let's see. Jeffrey Toon says, Hidalgo is an idiot. You're damn right about that. Brad Noble says, no straight edges on me. No, not you, Brad. Never on you. No one's ever going to hold you back. Let's see. Caleb Weiberg says Clone Wars saved. Hashtag Clone Wars saved. You are right about that. Nevertune says Ewoks are so cool. Ewoks are adorable. I want a pet Ewok. Jedi Starship says, Odin, what I loved about the Clone Wars is that there are certain instances, and you'll see them, where the CGI starships special effects almost look like live action. Truly impressive. Well, I can't wait to get to that because you know how I feel about CGI, and when it looks real and when it looks really good, I love it. So I cannot wait to get to that. Tina says, I can't wait to see Geeks and Gamers. I heard about more Clone Wars. I'm still not excited yet. It's hard for getting all the toxicity all these months. I agree. And that's why I think a lot of people have tempered expectations where they're excited because they like Clone Wars and they want more Clone Wars, but they're hesitant as to whether Disney is going to do it right or not. And I think that's a fair assessment. I think that's a fair worry for sure. Talon Hudson says, welcome, Perth Comics. Glad you could join us. Glad you could find us. Absolutely. Welcome. Absolutely welcome to Perth Comics and everyone else that's here tonight. And again, I do read every single comment. So if you're someone who wants to put a comment out there, maybe has been in other live streams and once, sometimes gets lost in the shuffle. That's one of the things that's special about this channel is because we're still very small. I'm able to read all the comments. So yeah, definitely appreciate every single one of you guys. Super says, did you catch Cecil's late night stream yesterday? He was drinking and told a story that his dad used to think C-3PO was gay and his lisp got him sent to the Bible camp. I was dying. I did not see it. I missed his live stream. I saw that he did one, but man, that sounds amazing. I have to watch it now. I want to see him talk about Bible camp because that sounds amazing. Brad Noble says, poison is for children. Super says, video like. Well, thank you, Super. I appreciate that. Brad Noble says cocaine. No, I don't do cocaine. I do not do cocaine. I would, man, if this is me just on, if this is me just on water, imagine me on cocaine. That would be insane. Nickel Noodle says, now Jeremy needs to get Skyman Universe on the next G&G stream with you so the son of Odin can be reunited with his father. Man, that could be cool. That could be cool. Jefferson says, also, Matt Damon. I was so glad I was able to get a Matt Damon out during the chat. Richie Rich says, if you get into Rebels, skip season 1, episode 10. It's creepy now that we know about Lando's fascination with droids. Yeah. I'll probably watch it though, because now I'm intrigued by that. So I'll probably still watch it anyway, just to get the full Lando Pando effect. Jeffertoon says, Darkwing Duck, I'm in. Perth Comics, yeah. So yeah, if they're able to bring in that original Disney content, I think it could be enough. I really do. I mean, imagine they have so many TV shows alone. I mean, there's so much Disney content that they could put on there. So if they make it where it's kind of like, I'm a huge wrestling fan, so I have the WWE Network, and they basically just opened up all of their libraries of pay-per-views and live shows. If they do that with Disney, if they just open up like almost all of their content in their entire history, it might be worth getting, especially if it's at a competitive price. So I might look into it for sure. Perth Comics says Disney will offer subscription fees, most likely. I'm sure there will be various tiers as to what kind of content you get. Tina says Odin needs to meet him. Skyman Universe lookalike Thor would be awesome. Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that name. So is that a channel that I need to check out? Because if he looks like Thor, man, yeah, let's get a meetup going. That'd be amazing. RT says Lando isn't in season 1. I think it means a Rebels, not of Clone Wars. Maybe that's the confusion. Kayla Weinberg says, I'll just watch the episodes of Clone Wars as I pirate it. I think a lot of people will. Again, there are ways around it. But I think, again, if Disney offers a hell of a lot for the subscription price, I would be interested. Lando Calrissian says, cookies are love. You're damn right about that. Jedi Starship says, as far as seeing Clone Wars on the Disney streaming service, all I have to say is where there is a will, there is a way. Wink, wink. Believe me, there are ways. Oh, I know there are ways, and sometimes I use those ways. But at the same time, I can't actively promote those ways. But I see where you're coming from, Jeffrey. I see where you're coming from, Jedi Starship. Super says, when the deal with Fox goes through, how do you think Disney will be stupid enough to kill Hulu and make it their streaming service? Or do you think they'll create their own platform? I think they'll create their own platform. I think it's going to be their own service on their own servers. Now, there could be something done with Hulu, maybe as like an extension to offer other Disney content perhaps, or not like strictly Disney content, but like maybe stuff that's a part of the Fox deal. So they could do that, but I do think I think it's going to be their own app, their own servers, their own website. I think it's going to be completely, it's Disney. I just really do think they're going to try and keep everything in-house for sure. Let's see. C-Dog says, I went four-wheeling since Sunday, so I haven't got my Star Wars trauma YouTube for a few days, and it's been a real peaceful not dealing with garbage wars like usual. That sounds pretty awesome. That really does sound great. Jeff Cotto, what is up, Jeff Cotto? You rocked Odin. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Jeff Cotto. Another really awesome YouTuber. Keeps it straight, like very straight shooter. Jedi Starship says thanks. Derek James Raven says Lando in episode 9, big pandering band-aid. Yeah, it really is. I mean, they're trying to bring all the characters that they can from the original, and And if they make Billy D. Williams act like the Lando of Solo, it's going to be a bad time for everyone. You're going to have a bad time. Go Giraffe. Go Giraffe. Thank you, Dave Filoni and Bob Iger, for Return of the Clone Wars. I agree. Very glad to have it back. Hopefully they don't ruin it. Really hope they don't. RT says, I don't remember seeing him. I've only seen season 1 of Rebels, no further. Okay. Tina says, smash that like button, everyone, if you haven't already. Doesn't cost you a thing. You're damn right, Tina. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Brad Noble says, slow down, Steph needs to get me flowers yet. Mex says, don't ever say that to EVS. Daddy will go get his belt. Oh, I love Cecil. I will say that to his face. I love Cecil. Caleb says, hello there. Hello. Jefferson says, if the Disney cartoon series Pepper Ann, they had an episode where they basically made out the video games desensitized people to violence. Ugh. Yeah, I love when they try to make that argument, and it just doesn't hold up. When you actually talk to professionals, it does not hold up. Jen, as I always say, if it doesn't hold up put to scrutiny, then you shouldn't say it. Ratboy says, not into comics, not let Ethan hear that when you get on the High Council, he will get daddy's bells. Okay, so that's what you meant. Yeah, I will do my best. Again, I don't hate comics. It's not like I'm anti-comic. It's just that, again, as I say before, because I have problems with books, it's very hard for me to stay focused. And you would think that a comic book would be easier, but because the bubbles are in different places, because of my ADD, it's just very hard for me to focus. That's why I'm probably going to stay mostly to audiobooks. But I still fully support Cyberfrog. I fully support Ethan Van Sciver's efforts, and that whole effort has been incredible. What, he's up to $500,000 now, I think, at this point, which is just incredible. So I'm very proud of him for that, and so kudos to him. But yeah, I think if I ever get invited to be on the High Council, which would be amazing, I will not be afraid of saying that. Again, as you saw today on the stream, I'm not afraid to disagree with Jeremy, especially when it comes to Dunkirk and to a couple other things. Super says, Clone Wars is their bread and butter right now, and Disney should know that. If they screw this up, Lucasfilm is dead. I think they're fools if they think Indiana 5 will save them. I agree. And again, if they do basically try and infest Clone Wars with any nonsense, any stupid stuff, and just destroy it, they are, again, I think you're right. They're done. I mean, again, if hardcore fans are excited about this and you ruin it for them, how are they ever going to trust you again? You already ruined the main series of films. Brad Noble says, your beard beats Jeremy's beard equals win. Sea-Dog says, what did Kasdan Jr. say to you? Inquiring minds want to know. So yeah, he tweeted out to me and asked me my thoughts on my video and had some questions. And I mean, I don't want to really go through the whole Twitter storm. You can just check out my Twitter, and the whole stream is there. The whole thing is there. So just look for. It was a video that I posted yesterday. So just look for that video and for that tweet, and you'll see the whole, the subtext and everything that he added to it. Perth Comics says, Odin, how are your linguistic skills? Say, Cecil sells seashells by the seashore. I think I did okay with that. I sometimes trip up on things, but sometimes I get things right. I think I got that one right. Jedi Starship says, Brad was pretty mean to Odin in Geeks. Yeah, Brad is just, I didn't see a lot of the comments that he said, but Brad is just awful. The Joe Show, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Joe Show. You are fantastic. 70B, you bet Odin. Follow the Joe Show. Thank you for shouting that out. Jedi Starship says, you said you hate Odin. Who said that? Brad Noble says, I never said I hate Odin. Did you say that, Brad? Brad, get into the corner. Go to the corner right now. Brad, go to the corner. You're my pet troll. You have to do what I say. Get to the damn corner. You're in timeout. Brad Noble, because I like him. Oh, well, I appreciate that. But you're still in the corner. Jefferson says, of course, I mean the Peter Sellers PP films. What kind of Philistine do you take me for, Odin? What kind of Philistine do you take me for, sir? Donald Hudson says, our pet troll was really showing off for All Father during Geeks and Gamers. I really wish I could have seen the entire chat because, oh, man. Brad Noble says, I hate Jeremy's attempt at a beard. I think it looks fine. Brad Noble says, I hate the Patriots. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Patriots myself, but I would say I hate them. Jefferson says, Jeremy would not get onto the Asgardian Council with a beard like it. Don't tell him that. I would have him on instantly. But oh, man. Sea-Dog says, hashtag we don't care, Pablo Soy Dalgo. The Joe Show says, you're basically the big dog now. Well, better than that big dog. Oh, God, don't get me started on the big dog, Roman Reigns, because, total waste of time. Brad Noble says, I believe lint on the chin got him. Oh, it doesn't look that bad, Brad. Come on, man. Nancy Don Hussey says Jeremy's beard foo is not strong. Odin's demigod-like beard laughs. Well, I appreciate that. Let's see. Sea Dog says you are next for the High Council. That'd be awesome. Again, I would humbly accept it, and it'd be really cool. But again, as I always say, and it's true, I do not expect anything. I take everything in stride, and yeah. So thank you. I appreciate that, though. I appreciate that vote of confidence. Richard Rich says, if Disney would release the despecialized edition on Blu-ray, it would outsell Solo and The Last Jedi combined. You are damn right about that. There are so many people who have been waiting for them to do that, myself included. I had to go out and download the Harmy version, and I mean, oh my goodness, guys, if you've ever done the despecialized editions, you'll know it takes forever because you have to download like essentially like 100 plus files for every film, and the websites that they give you, you can only download like 5 every 30 minutes. It's insane. So you have to basically let it run in the background for a very long time. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's worth it. It is absolutely worth it because to see the films, to see the original trilogy as it was meant to, as it was originally shown in theaters without any of the added CGI nonsense that George Lucas added in is just fantastic. So yeah, I agree. And I thought they were going to do it on the anniversary. I'm sure there's some rights issues because Fox owns the original release, but I really do hope that we get that soon because that would be amazing. And you're right, it would outsell it. Even at this point when enthusiasm in Disney and Lucasfilm is so low, at least for the Star Wars side, that would do extremely well because that's something that people have been waiting for a long time. And also, it would hopefully be a sign that, no, the original trilogy still holds a lot of weight. It still holds a lot of importance in the minds of the fans, and I would love for that to happen for sure. And yeah, I think it would outsell them. Absolutely. Brad Noble says, my back hair is higher than that beard. Let's see. C-Dog says, did Jeremy post your video with him yet? So yeah, it was a live stream. It was a Google Hangout, so it automatically uploads right after. So it is available on the Geeks and Gamers channel right now for you to check out. Jeff Cotto says, hello, Asgard. Hello, Jeff Cotto. Let's see. 70B says, I have been transformed. Cecil is Bay. Yes. Yes, Steph. We have done it. We have converted Steph. She has been afraid of Cecil for a very long time, and she has finally been converted to Cecil. Yes, Cecil is life. Cecil is Bay. The Force is Cecil. Yes, Steph. Yes, that is why you are amazing. George Lucas is in the chat. Hello, George. People who dislike Padme and Anakin, but ship Reylo, which is the same thing, but with crappier. I appreciate that, George. Thank you for your insight. RT says Ewoks. Mr. Peabody, what is up, Mr. Peabody? Great to see you on Geeks and Gamers. Look forward to more. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And again, I did not expect him to say that and to invite me to his channel, and so it's incredible. I'm really so thankful for it, and I can't wait. I cannot wait to get started. It's so exciting. Geek Out Loud said, "What's up? What's up, Geek Out Loud?" C-Doc says, Jeremy is making the rounds, grabbing up all the talent. Smart man. Who's next? Abu Nas. Yeah, I know that he's trying to get Abu Nas on one of his streams. I know that he's trying to get John Talk Star Wars on one of his streams too. So there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and I think that he is just really trying to reach out to a lot of other channels right now, and I think it's really cool. And I'm so appreciative for what he's done for me for so many different reasons. So I think Abu Nas might be the next person that gets invited to be on one of the live streams, though. Derek says, I would like a live stream viewing of Rogue One. It's become the bastard child of the franchise. Edwards clearly had a grasp of the material. I can never tell if true fans appreciate the film. I love Edwards. Gareth Edwards is a very talented filmmaker. Because of all of the reshoots and because of all the behind the scenes just chaos that happened with the film, I feel like it showed. I feel like it showed on screen. And so because of that, I go back to the pacing issues, the character flaws. I'm not crazy about it. Again, I'm totally willing to watch it again. I might just do a live stream of Rogue One at some point. Maybe that's something I can do at 2,000 subs too. Maybe that's something I could add to it as well. Maybe do a live stream and then after a regular live stream, do an extended after hours live stream where I watch Rogue One and give you all my instant thoughts on it. So that might be something to look into. But yeah, I want to like it because I like Gareth Edwards a lot. Brad Noble says, going to feel bad for Jeremy when Hidalgo and when Wendig are writers on Clone Wars. Oh my God. If they do that, then it's done. They're done. Jedi Star says, Ewoks, the Battle for Endor movie 1985 is better than The Last Jedi. I would agree with you. I've only seen bits and pieces, but those bits and pieces are already better than that. My dogs are barking. Brandon says, stand alone, Tico's mom story. I want to see it. Again, I'm a Tico path, so I would love to see some more Rose Tico and the whole Tico family. Imagine Life Day with the Ticos. Imagine if Chewie's family and the Tico family come together. That would be amazing. I want to see that. Donald Hudson says, wait, did I hear we're grilling Ewoks and Porgs? Lemon slices should take the gaminess away. Oh, come on. They're cute guys. Joel Good says, all the Star Wars stuff made me realize the reason anime has gotten so popular is because all the media over here is so censored PC and bland, so weird. Japanese cartoons are the only place for stories. I agree with you, George. Thank you very much. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, because anime is not cartoons for kids. Everything now has become just so for kids, and it's just really sad. I mean, that's the reason why a lot of people don't like Rebels, because Rebels became too much of a kid show and not the just really like all around for the entire family show that Clone Wars was. And anime just does not go down that path. Anime just stays very straightforward and says, we're going to make great stories, and that might even be of an adult nature, and they do a really great job of it. 7B is Bradley, Texas, with the yes. Super says, wait, because you have ADHD, would cocaine chill you out instead? No, I think I would be literally insane on cocaine. I'm calling you right there. T-Dog says, who was the High Council to Tuesday as a guest? I think it was Jesse Milestone. I think Jesse was the guest. I'm not sure, but I think it was Jesse that was on this week. Arnie says, what do you think about Hello Greedo? I used to like his content, but then he started to make fun of the fans that didn't like the film. Yeah, so I never got into Hello Greedo, and basically the moment I started doing YouTube, the moment I really started to get invested on YouTube, I heard nothing but bad things about him. I heard that he did just that, and so I never checked out his content. So I'm glad I didn't, and I'm glad that I never have to. So Newbie says he does hubba hubba. Jeffertoon says, I actually quite like the Gummy Bears and Wuzzles cartoons by Disney. Don't hate me. I don't hate you. I don't hate you for that. I mean, I didn't watch those, but no hate. We all have guilty pleasures. I admitted some of mine earlier on the stream. Tina says, the first time I saw Skyman, I thought it was Chris Hemsworth doing movie reviews until I realized Chris wouldn't be ripping The Last Jedi a new one. Ooh, okay. All right, sounds like I need to check Skyman out. Void Memo 28, welcome to the chat. Don't worry about Rebels being all crap. Season 1 is bad, but it's not horrible. Same with the first half of Season 2, but the rest is pretty good to great. All right, awesome to hear. Again, I totally plan on watching both. I want to get through Clone Wars, then jump to Rebels, and I'm definitely planning on watching all of them. So thank you. I'm glad that it gets better, that it improves over time. Brad Noel says, I hate her. Who do you hate? Jason Clark says, I own all the CW 1 through 6 seasons and the 2003 Clone Wars seasons 1 through 6 and the 2003 Clone Wars series, both animated. Do you think Disney will SJW the new seasons? It's possible. It really is possible. I don't think they will, especially with the fact that you have the same people who are in charge, because you have that home mindset with everything going on. I think that it will be okay. I don't think they'll let the series fall into those hands. But then again, what we've seen, or at least what has been explained to me about Clone Wars and Rebels, is that the studio got involved with Rebels and tied his hands. And so we could see that happen again. I really hope that we don't, because that would be really stupid of them to do, but we'll see. Really, really, really hope that's not the case. Geek Out Loud says, unfocus your eyes and imagine Odin's ceiling fan is a hat or antlers or ears. Yeah, I get that comment all the time about my ceiling fan. So at some point I'm going to have to find a new background for sure. Mr. Peabody says, Odin, when are River and Willow going to get their own channel? The Pooh Review. Oh my goodness. Guys, I really could make my own channel for them, because me and my wife, I've done their voices on the channel before. They each have their own voice. So we could totally just film them and have them talk about movies. So that could happen. You know what? I bet that channel would just, would skyrocket. C-Dog says, what's this video from Ethan about Luke's robe? I guess I missed a lot. Yeah, I missed that one too. I've unfortunately fallen behind on a lot of Ethan Van Sciver's content lately, because he does so many videos. He does so much content, which is great, but I just don't have the time. I just don't have the time to consume it all. Brad Noel says, Gummy Bears is not culture. Okay. Jedi Starship says, correction. It was Lando Lake that said he hates Odin, not Brad Noble. Sorry, guys. Okay, well, Brad, you're out of the corner. You can get out of the corner. Jedi Starship, come on, dude. Don't throw Brad under the bus. Again, he does enough bad stuff already. Don't throw him under the bus for things that other people did, including someone called Lando Lake. Butter. Let's see. Brad Noah says, I did tell you about Jedi says, I apologize. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate that very, very much. Sorry, I usually don't watch responses, but this one just got me because my dog's name's Renee. It says, now I want to see a video where Odin pretends to die in front of River and Willa. Oh my goodness. They would be licking my face and they would just be like, they would just not care. They wouldn't believe it for a second. Brandon says Dunkirk was slow in plotting. I would agree. Again, after my first viewing, I would agree. Jeffrey Toon says, like I said, Luke Robe has more personality than all the new Star Wars characters together. Perth Comics says, what is your opinion on the Lost TV show? Do you mean Lost, like the television show Lost? I never got into it. I've heard really cool things, and so I definitely want to get into it at some point. But as you've heard, there's so many things I'm watching and reading right now that that's kind of on the back burner. But I do want to get into it. I really do want to watch Lost. So if you mean that, then that is on my list. That is on my list of things to watch. Jedi Starship says, Brad, no worries. He'll get around to reading this. I did. Brad Noble says, after seeing that, I will put money on Luke coming back in black. Somebody says, for real, let me time him out. So let's see, that was at 9:51. It's 10:03, so not too far behind. But yeah, I mean, it was a mistake. So if you've timed him out already, well, so be it. But if not, don't worry about it at this point. Jedi Starship says, once he reads this, Brad gets out of the corner. Yep, agree. C-Dog says, I don't have a twatter, so please explain further if you can. I will do the best I can, but I'm a little far behind the chat, so I don't want to just read the tweets, because you need to understand, it's 2 days worth of tweets back and forth. Like, it's got to be 50 plus tweets that are part of this conversation. That's why I can't realistically just read through all the tweets right now. You know, I might do a stream or a video where I do read through everything, but I don't think I don't think a lot of people would be interested in that. So if there's a lot of people that want me to do that, that's fine. But again, even if you don't have a Twitter, you can just go to twitter.com and you can look at you can just look for my profile and you can find those tweets. All my tweets are public, so you don't have to have a Twitter account to be able to look at them. At least I don't think you do. You shouldn't have to. Brando says, see how this happens. Jeff Carter says, is Brad still in the corner? No, he is not. Going to the corner, says Brad. I'm sorry, man. See, RT says, what's this trend of nerds having beards? Who started this? I have no idea. I've had a beard for a very long time, so I didn't follow anyone with that. But yeah, I'm liking it because I love beards. Beards are awesome. Brad says, easy, Popo. C-Dog says, never mind. I'll just add your video to the list since you don't want to explain. Again, I'm really sorry. I really do want to explain further. But again, there's so many tweets to get through. There are so many to get through. And I talked about the main points earlier. Diane, what's up, Diane? Yep, they're worth it, though. Tina says, I was scared I missed something. Pressure cooking porgs and Ewoks is hard work. You're right about that. RT says, have you got a tuxedo t-shirt on? I do. I wanted to dress fancy for my stream today. Unfortunately, he didn't see the shirt and didn't ask about it. And no one in the chat, I think, seemed to ask about it. But it's actually my Disaster Artist shirt. So I'm a huge fan of The Room. And it's fantastic. It's one of my favorite best worst movies of all time. The Disaster Artist is the movie that was based off the book that was about The Room, all the behind the scenes experiences. So I actually won this. This was at a screening of The Disaster Artist, and they did a contest where they asked trivia. Of course, I knew the answer to one of the trivia questions, so I got a shirt. So it is a tuxedo shirt, and it's got The Disaster Artist on the back. I've worn this on a stream before. Brandon says, I'm a man wrongfully committed for a crime. I'm sorry, dude. That's what happens when I fall behind in the chats. Diane says, Harmony still continues working on them too. Harmony, yeah. So Harmony still keeps on doing it. And Harmony still updates. I haven't gotten any of the new ones because all the tweaks that he's making at this point are very minor, in my opinion, possibly like color correction, things of that nature. And so those things matter to me less than the actual HD content with the original cuts. Let's see. Jason Clark says, nobody puts Brad in a corner. C-Dog says, I can't stand pansexual Kasdan Jr. What a tool. Jedi Starship says, Odin, I'm still waiting for you to download the Adwan special revisited editions of A New Hope and Empire. Don't let me down. I looked at them. You sent me that. You sent me the cuts, and the changes and differences were not enough for me to want to go through that process again. So again, it's nothing against you. It's nothing against the recommendation. It's just that I already have the despecialized editions. It took me a long time to get them, and I'm not at this point looking to get newer, like other versions, because to me, the changes aren't enough for me at this point to actually go out and do those. RT says, Disaster Artist, you were correct. Brando says, the one-hand man said he hates Odin. Damn. RT says, it's just a normal tuxedo shirt. So yeah, it's a Disaster Artist one. Diane says, Cecil is satire. I know, but I still love him. Perth Comic says, when you conquer all 9 realms, will you give Midgard to Lord Doomcock? I'm willing to make an agreement with him. I do like Lord Doomcock. He is a wonderful, benevolent, evil super villain, and he's fantastic. But yes, I would be willing to part with that with him when I conquer the 9 realms. Donald Huzza says, this might seem like pandering, but our Valkyries are the best. No, they are. They are the best. You are right about that. They are fantastic. Stephanie B says, free Abu Nas. You were right about that. Everything. Oh my God. I cannot believe that they shut down his Twitter. That's insane. C-Dog says, so we have a video about Mark Hamill shaving and one about his Jedi robes. You gotta love Ethan. I know, right? Like, those are the things that he focuses on, but you know what? His content is fantastic. Welcome everybody to Comic Arts Pro Secrets. I am Ethan Man Skyver, and it's wonderful. I don't know if that's all. I always love doing that. Artie says, yeah, and what's a tuxedo t-shirt got to do with it? I know they wear tuxedos in the films, but this is a t-shirt. That's why it's fun. It's fun. Stevie B says, Tina and me are in the Abunas original rap song. Word, damn right. That's awesome. Devertoon says, yeah, it wasn't Brad who said he hated Odin. At least I didn't see him say so. Again, I'm glad that's been clarified. Tina says, yes, we are. Oh, that's awesome. I have to listen to that song. Devertoon says, Piper could blow them all up. Elric Hugo says, I made a video about what I said earlier in the. It does have spoilers for Rebels, but I'm very observant when it comes to Star Wars, so I pick up on very small things. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna avoid that just so that way I don't have to worry about spoilers at this point, but I appreciate that very much. Brad Noble says, my God, I liked Odin. Jay Chapatsky says, my little buttercup has the sweetest smile. We've been talking a lot about the Three Amigos in this chat. Thank you so much for putting the musical notes in there. Yes. Oh my goodness. If you've never seen the Three Amigos, probably one of the best comedies of all time. C-Dog says, just live stream Rogue One. Do it for Doomcock and do it for the children. Your choice. All right. I mean, I'm thinking about it. I'm considering it. I'm taking it under advisement. Okay. I'm taking it under advisement. Jeffertoon says, wasn't that Rose's sister? Yeah, in the movie, it was Rose's sister. RT says, Clone Wars is a family show. Any moms and dads sitting down to watch Clone Wars? You know what I mean, though? I mean that it appeals to both adults and children. That's what I meant by family show. It's one that, like, if a mom or dad was having their child and their child wanted to watch it, you could sit and watch and say, this is pretty good. But from what I've heard, again, because I haven't watched these myself, but from what I've heard, Rebels is more geared towards kids. Jeffertoon says, Paige Tico. Yeah, and it's funny because our boy, Brian Young, when he was asked this question on Twitter. He's more of a shill than anyone else. Like, I have a bigger problem with Brian Young than John Kasdan, because John Kasdan actually engaged with me and actually responded. Brian Young just blocked me, just didn't even have a care. But when asked, he says, well, do you have any criticism about The Last Jedi? And the first thing he said was, I wanted more Paige. And I was like, that's your critique, is you want more Paige Tico? Are you what are you talking about? Like, I have a much bigger problem with him for sure. Let's see. Perth Comics says Gargoyles cartoon by Disney was great. I agree with you. In fact, I had an old VHS and it was a movie. It was a Gargoyles film. But on the VHS, they had a game. And so basically, there was a board game that you would play on, but you would also play the VHS, and everything was timed. And depending on your choices would determine certain things. So you'd have to, like, fast forward it 30 seconds or fast forward it 2 minutes, and it would bring you to the spot that you needed to go to. And it was a lot of fun. I loved the original Gargoyles. So yeah, if they're able to bring all of that original content onto the channel, it might be worth getting. Might be. Let's see. Don Huzza says, still haven't received a notification from YouTube about Odin's live stream. Man, I hope I don't miss anything. Yeah, thanks, YouTube. So yeah, YouTube still hasn't monetized me and still is not giving notifications to my subs. Yep, sounds about right. Everyone says, I like Gargoyles. It was so good. It was such a great show. Jedi Starship says, you guys can go to Star Wars Revisited in the notes section to get it. New starships in A New Hope, color correction, CGI spider in Dagobah, at AT-ATs in Hoth, etc. Jedi Starship says, Facebook. Again, I'm not knocking those versions, but the ones I have, I just really love, and I'm not quite pushed to get those instead. Brian Noble says, I'm DMing Jeremy to keep a wrench out of Stephanie's hand. Oh no, don't you do that. I think Steph should be a mod over at his channel because she's that awesome. Artie says, all right, you don't mean that guy off Nerdist. Arnie says, it really seems that his opinion, Hello Greedos, is biased somehow. I even told how much does Disney pay you in a comment, and I triggered a lot of his followers. It does not surprise me, because that's the thing with John Kasdan, is that he didn't attack, but a lot of his followers got into the conversation and were being very, very nasty. So that's kind of what happens usually, though. Fight the Power, says Brad Noble. Donald Hudson says, the ceiling fan, I thought that was the Allfather's crown. Yes. Yes, Donald Hudson. Yes, that is the way you think here in Asgard. RT says, all right, one of my people. Sorry, Brad. Random game user. Hey, Random. I love how you wave when you come into the chat. Makes me want to wave. What's up, Random? Another great YouTuber. Go check her out. Brad Noble says, thanks. Brad Noble redeemed. RT Random in the house. Yep. Joe Show, I was excited for Clone Wars, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited, but I'm still very hesitant because of what Disney is at this point. RT says, don't start Lost. It's a long, long mess. I hear a lot of people love it, though. I hear a lot of people tell a lot of great things. They might not all be crazy about the ending, but I hear the show is really good. So I do want to dive into it at some point, because it seems to be my kind of cup of tea. So Brad Noble says, Steph and that wrench are the Empire. No, they're not. They're the Rebel Resistance, man. Ah, Brad, the troll. Random Game User says, I is in the house. You are right. Arnie says, I like Lost, but the first 2 seasons are slow as F. Yeah, I've heard that too. Perth Comics says, don't watch Lost, as in my opinion, it is bad. Just that Jeremy likes it, so wanted your opinion. And it's because that he likes it, because, again, we do agree on a lot of things. We don't agree on everything, as the stream hopefully tonight showed, but he does like it, and so I do want to give it a shot. I do want to just, give it a chance. No stream tonight for Random. Talking to each other. Brando says, I hate yogurt and broccoli, not people. Well, that's good to know. I hate broccoli too. I love yogurt though, especially with strawberries. RT says, oh, I see. I haven't been on this site. Jeffrey Toon says, Urban Acolyte is a douche. He actually came to Geeks and Gamers to smack talk Jeremy. Jeremy shot him down. Glad he did it, because Jeremy is the king at smacking people down, especially SJWs. He's awesome at that. And I think it's funny that John Kasdan didn't respond to Jeremy's tweet, because that would have been, that's a discussion I want to see, is Jeremy talking to John Kasdan. That could be interesting. Donald Hudson says, people are friends, not food. Brandon says, I kind of hate Jeremy's Lynn beard. Oh, leave Jeremy alone. He's trying, man. Random says, I try to make the rounds. Well, I always appreciate you being here, Random. It's always great to have you. RD says, oh, explain. Thanks, Odin. I haven't seen it before. Awesome. Somebody says, where's Greta? I don't know where Greta is. Maybe she didn't get the notification. She might be working. She might be asleep, because this is a little bit later than I normally do my stream. So it could be that. It could be that. Again, she's had a lot of early mornings, so it could be that. Tina says, I always like seeing familiar faces. It's always great. I mean, I love seeing familiar faces. Brandon says, red is hot. Well, thank you. Super says, real quick, is it weird that Dunkirk not having distinct characters is part of the reason I loved it? Showed stories weren't unique and all of them went through the same struggle. I mean, again, I respect you. I respect you for liking the film, as I respect Jeremy for liking the film. And I think that he has a lot of really good points. Just for me, because again, opinions on films are usually pretty subjective. There are objective things that you can criticize about films, but as far as, one's opinion and one's thoughts of a film, it's usually subjective. And so, again, I respect you. I respect anyone that liked Dunkirk, but for me, it just, the whole intertwining stories just didn't quite work for me. The pacing was a little bit off. And yeah, I thought the characters just, to me, I feel like a film like that, especially a war film, needs to have kind of character development. That's just me, though. I wanted to be invested in the characters, and I wasn't. But I understand where you're coming from, just how they're all together, that none of them, you don't get their whole backstories. You just know that they're all in the same boat together. And so, again, I appreciate that. I understand it, but I do have my disagreements on that. Lethal Lightning, hello there. Hello, Lethal. We talked about you earlier. Great to have you here. Brandon says, how does Dark Empire never get brought up as great reading? I don't know. What is that? Tell me about it. Perth Comics is laughing. Trevor Toon says, I've had my beard for 14 years. I have trimmed it, Odin. Well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Oh, let's see. Understood, says Jedi Starship. Yeah, again, nothing against those cuts of the film. It's just, how long it can take to get those down, and I just don't have the time right now. Maybe one day. Dark Empire was great, says Brad Noble. Mr. P.I. says, the problem with Dunkirk was at least 2 storylines were true stories that were altered, By the way, did you know the Spitfire crashed? It didn't land, and they actually dug it up and rebuilt it. I did not know that. That's really cool. I love history. Dirty says, which one is Dark Empire? WB says, Doomcock love. I know you love Doomcock. Doomcock's awesome. Artie says, cool dang. What? Let's see. Jeff Cotto says, Heir to the Throne was great, Brad. I'm reading Heir to the Empire right now, and that's one's really good. Nalhaza says, what kind of plane is that? It's a mail plane. Well, how do you know? Well, did you see its little balls? It's a mail plane. Little balls. It's a mail plane. Yes, Donald Hudson. RT says, I haven't seen Clone Wars, have seen Rebels, and it's definitely for kids. Well, good to hear that. Super says, it took me 2 days to watch The Room. I love bad movies, and I'll admit The Room was funny, but it's going to take a lot of strength for me to watch it again. It's just too bad. Well, super. If you want to get through it, and if you want to enjoy every second of it, you need to go to a midnight showing, because then you have people throwing spoons at the screen. You have people yelling out things that are just hilarious and funny, and they point things out to you that just make you love and appreciate the film even more so. So if you're having trouble getting through it, because I will say this right now, watching it by yourself can be a very weird experience, but watching with others, that's where the fun is. That is where the fun is. Random says, Doomcock made that chill tears mug. I saw that. That's awesome. The Star Wars Dad. What is up, Star Wars Dad? Just got son to sleep and had to come in and check on my bud Odin. Well, thank you, Star Wars Dad. I appreciate that. Hope he's feeling better. I know that he was feeling sick the other day. Jason Clark says, if you get over 1,000 subs, will you shave your eyebrows or an eyebrow? Well, I'm already over 1,000. So, do you mean like 10,000? Maybe. If I ever reach 10,000, there are things that I will do for you guys if I had 10,000. Brandon says, the whole point of Thrawn was the cloning. Interesting. Let's see. Hector Avier says, same. I didn't get a notification. Oh, I'm sorry, Hector. I'm really sorry to hear that. Again, YouTube sucks a lot of the time. Lethal says, I wasn't the biggest fan of Dark Empire, but there are some things I really liked. Star Wars S says, love all the love. I love all the love too, man. Super says, when did Gargoyles come out? In the 90s. I don't know what year exactly, but it was a 90s cartoon, and it was awesome. Yeah, it was a 90s cartoon. Thanks, RTE. 70B says, I stay here for as long as Odin needs me. Well, I always need you, Stephanie. It's always great to have you here. That's why you are amazing. Jeffertoon says, the Thrawn trilogy actually gave a reason why they no longer use clones, which would have explained Finn. That's a very, very good point. It's a very good point. Hold on. Just need to message the wife real quick. Night. Love you. She's out of town right now, unfortunately. Come on. The stream jumped again. I hate when it does that. Whenever I do anything on this phone. All right. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so again, I just started the Thrawn trilogy, so I cannot wait to find out more, and I can't wait to find out the reasons why and how they're able to explain away clones. So that's awesome. Max says, don't spoil yet. Don't spoil anything yet. I've just dived into it. I'm 3 chapters in, and I'm loving every second of it so far of book 1, and I can't wait to read more. Jeffertoon says, I liked Honey, I Shrunk the Kids TV series by Disney. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I like the movies better, but it definitely was not bad. Brad Noel says, removed it. I remember it. Star Wars Dad says, I'm excited for a new Clone Wars. Only good thing from Disney Star Wars. At this point, it is the only good news that has come out of Disney. I'm hoping that we get more good news. I'm hoping that we get announcements of Kathleen Kennedy moving on. I'm hoping that we get announcements of Rian Johnson's trilogy being canceled. There are so many things that they could do to put Disney and Lucasfilm especially back in the good graces of the fans that they're just not doing at this point. This might be that first step forward, but we really won't know until 1, the series comes out, and 2, what else happens in the long run as well. Artie says, Lost drags and you get more questions than answers. I've heard that, but again, I still hear it's fun. I hear some of the twists and turns are really fun. Jeffertoon says, Gargoyles did get shown on the Disney Channel way back. Yeah, it did, and it was so much fun. I loved it. RT says, I've watched the entire thing. Trust me. I do trust you. RT, I do trust you, but I still, my interest is piqued enough to at least give it a shot. Lee Lang says, the best thing about canon is still the Darth Vader comic. I've heard that a few times. Brian Noble says, Odin, get done with Thrawn so we can talk about it. I'm sorry, dude. I'm doing the best that I can. I literally listen to it before I go to bed. I listen to it on my way to work. I listen to it on my way home from work, which is not a very long drive, unfortunately. I have it on 1.5 speed, so I'm getting through it as fast as I can. I don't want to get through it too fast because I want to be able to process everything that I'm listening to. RT says, doing a stream. Joe Show says, Jeremy smacked John Boyega. I remember that, and it was amazing. Oh, man. John Boyega should just not. ever do that again, because that's just, it doesn't help him and it doesn't make fans want to see his movies. So RT says, I didn't really like, I really didn't watch it much either. And okay, so talking about something else. Brad Noble says, I missed the dog pooping part. Yeah, my dogs are outside the door. I'm sure that they're lying down at this port. I've had, at this point, River has come up a few times and whimpered, but she's doing okay. And I don't want it to happen again. I don't want to have to pick up dog poo again. I know that y'all liked it and appreciated it, but it's not fun. It smells terrible, and it's just not fun for me. See, RT says it's about gargoyle statues that come to life at night, and they have this whole lore and this background story that are just really fun. RT says Dunkirk was bland. I would agree. Star Wars Dad says Band of Brothers was awesome. I own it, and I've always wanted to watch it because I hear it's amazing, and I got it on sale for like $10, and I can't wait to watch it. It's been on my shelf for a long time, and so at some point I'm gonna have to sit down and actually get through these things, not just the things on my list, but just the things on my shelf, because some of them I haven't seen. Jedi Starship says Outbound Flight. Yeah, that was like the whole mystery thing going there. Good book. RT says, I don't mind the film, I just think he's overrated as a director. If you're talking about Christopher Nolan's definitely not overrated as a director. He's a great director. He's one of the best directors working in Hollywood right now. I don't think he's the problem. I just think that some of his films are just, you have to think so much that sometimes one viewing just doesn't do it justice. And sometimes by doing that, it makes you not like the film. So that's why, again, I needed to see Interstellar a second time to understand just how brilliant of a film it was. And it was so good the second time that I ended up buying it on Blu-ray because it was that damn good. Let's see. Lethal says, oh, there was talk of me before. All positive, I trust. Yes, I was saying that you're one of my guys that I go to. You're one of my guys that knows a lot about Legends, that knows a lot about the extended universe. So I go to you, and I go to Mex in particular for recommendations on those materials. So yeah, definitely shouted you out. And go check out his channel because he does some really great videos too. Boston D says Jedi Starship. RD says Lethal, you doing a stream? Who would have thought? Star Wars Dad says I miss Rogue Squadron. Jeffrey Toon says Thrawn did not get eaten by a space octopus. I hope that's not I hope that's not a spoiler. Please don't spoil it. If you're making fun of if you're trying to say that he didn't get eaten by the villain from Watchmen, then I appreciate that comment. That's hilarious, but I really hope that's not the case. Don't spoil it. Brad Noah says Dark Horse, Dark Empire predates the Thrawn stuff. All right, cool. Let's see, Don Draper. Welcome back, Don Draper. Always great to see you in the chat. I just read Ostrander's Star Wars Legacy. Disney threw out the best thing they had. That's sad to hear. Jeffrey Toon says, yeah, before Thrawn, it was mostly comics. So maybe he says, oh, now it's time for a sex party. What? Stephanie, what was that? What kind of comment is that? Like how you put the peace symbol right after that. Tina says, when do we get the Popeyes chicken and the Chewbacca onesie? I forgot what the challenge status was for that. 5,000 subs. 5,000 subs is when I will do the Chewbacca onesie outside of a Popeyes, eating Popeyes in the car. That's 5,000 is when we will do that. I don't know what 10,000 is going to be. 2,000 is when I do another live stream in the Chewbacca onesie. So the Chewbacca onesie will make a return once we hit 2,000, which seems to be happening a lot more quickly after today, which is great. But 5,000 is when I will do it outside of Popeyes. Brian Ellis says 94, 2K, 5K. Yeah, Jeffrey Tunes 5K for that. So he says that was supposed to be a sex party from Family Guy. Okay, a sexy party. I was like, 70B. I was like, what's going on, Steph? You usually don't make comments like that. That's hilarious, though. RT says that early. I thought it was late 90s. Jedi Starship says, yeah, not only do I have the Dark Empire books, but got the Star Wars Dark Empire embossed metal collector cards, sweet merch. That's awesome. Lost Soldier, what is up, Lost Soldier? Hilarious peeps. What's up, Lost? Welcome back to the chat. Super says, at the exact time you said, come on, my stream buffered. Perfect timing. Well, I'm sorry that your stream buffered, but I'm glad that there was that perfect timing. Star Wars Dad says, Lucasfilm has pissed me off, made Chewie a man-eater, turned Han into a deadbeat dad, ruined Luke, and screwed canon beyond fixing. Yeah, I agree. I think that's why a lot of people are pissed off with Lucasfilm. They've done a lot of things to piss off a lot of people. And if this is the first step towards fixing that, then great. But if this is just another attempt for them to bait fans in just to let them down, then they deserve to, get what they have, which is losing money. Luster says, "Hola, autocorrect." I figured as much. Nickel Noodle says, "Dunkirk would have been much better if it was about a guy dressed as a giant bat who could enter people's dreams and incept cool ideas into their thoughts." Yes, yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, mixture of Batman and Inception. That would have been amazing. Mr. PY says, "Don't shave your face. 10,000 subs. You do live stream in Chewy onesie and dress River and Willow as Ewoks." Ooh, that could be good. That could be good. I won't shave my face. I might shave an eyebrow. If it's not, it has to not be the school year though, because I can't go to school with one eyebrow. My bosses might start to question things. But I love the Ewoks idea. That's fantastic. And also River and Willow would be adorable as Ewoks. Let's see. Perth Comics says, "I assume that the original batch of clones had been used up and a new batch was never ordered, so newer stormtroopers would just conscripts." Don't spoil things, guys. Please don't spoil anything from Thrawn. Sea Dog says, "I got kicked, but I'm back." You got kicked? I'm sorry about that. RT says, "Oh, it's interesting to begin with. Just doesn't go anywhere ultimately." Yeah, again, I still want to start with it. I want to give it a shot. Star Wars Dad says, "Sex party Steph, too funny." I know. Jason Clark says, "I meant to say over 2,000 subs, not 1,000. Okay, thank you. Okay, cool. Yeah, so 2,000, I'll be back in the Chewy onesie, and I'm sure I'll probably do something else too, because that will be another milestone for me, and I don't want to just do the same thing I did at 1,000. But yeah, the Chewy onesie will make a return. I might just do this. I might ask my patrons to give me some suggestions, and I'll let them vote, and then whatever they vote on, that is what I'll do. So if you are not a patron, check out my Patreon page link. It's in the description. Again, you don't have to donate anything. At this point, I'm not offering anything really extra. The only thing that I offer is if you donate at least $1 a month, I will shout you out at the end of every live stream. I forgot again last night, but I will have the list up again tonight. And yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to ask anyone that is a patron to give me some recommendations, some suggestions, and then I'll take the best ones, and then I'll let them vote on it. And then that will be what I do at 2,000 subs. RT says, "I was hooked in for about 4 seasons." That's what I heard from a lot of people. Lost Soldier, poo! Never know how could it. Jeffrey Toon says, "Dunkirk is an historically important event in European history." I know. I'm not trying to mock it. Again, Dunkirk, the event, is incredibly important. I'm not denying that fact. It's just the movie was not as compelling as I think it could have been. That's just me. That's just me. Again, I'm willing to watch it again to see if maybe that does the trick, but that's just how I feel. Lando says, "Thin mince baby." Lando is ready for that sex party stuff. That's for damn sure. Leo says, "I agree. Nolan is over." No, he's not. Nolan is great. I love Christopher Nolan. His work is fantastic. Jason Clark says, "EVS says that Kathleen Kennedy will be gone from Disney in September. Let's hope it's true." I do too. I remember when he made that announcement. I know that other channels have as well. And I'd be really happy about that. I think that the Star Wars universe, I think that the fandom would be very happy. I think that would be a huge step. Again, if Clone Wars announcement is a tiny step, firing Kathleen Kennedy would be a huge step forward for them to regain the trust of the fans for sure. Jeffrey Toon says, "Nolan would still make a better Star Wars film than JJ and RJ." I agree with you there. Let's see. Star Wars Dad says, "Loved Ant-Man and the Wasp. Good popcorn movie. Just a lot of fun to watch." I agree. It was a lot of fun. And we actually talked about that a little bit on the Geeks and Gamers stream, where someone asked whether or not, someone made the comment saying it's doing financially terrible. But when you actually break down the numbers, it's making enough money to make a profit. So it's justifying its existence. It's still very early out, so it still can make a little bit more money. So I'll be interested to see what this final box office numbers are. I'm sure that might be one of the first videos I make for Geeks and Gamers is on that very topic, since I know that's something that Jeremy's interested in. I know that he liked Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I know that he gets some criticism for that. So yeah, I think that it's a lot of fun. So if you haven't checked it out yet, please do. It's really good. Tina says, "In discussing Nolan, have you seen Inception? Because talk about having to see something more than once to work things out. I still haven't figured out every detail of that one." Yeah, so Inception for me, I understood most of it after the first viewing, but I did need to see it a second time just to confirm those suspicions. And I agree. I think Nolan is one of those directors where you do need to watch something more than once to be able to appreciate it fully. The one exception is, I think, The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight, I knew it was amazing as soon as the credits rolled, because that was a damn near perfect film. And that's like one of the few exceptions. But a lot of Nolan films tend to be where ones you have to watch more than once. RD says, "I still like Nolan, just think he's overrated. People act like his films are the second coming. I've seen Inception and Prestige. Both didn't reach full potential, in my opinion. And 2 out of the 3 Batman." Yeah, because I don't like Dark Knight Rises either. But I will say Prestige is fantastic. Prestige lives up to the hype. Prestige is an amazing film. I love that film so much. Super says Band of Brothers is fantastic, but I personally favor The Pacific. Another excellent HBO miniseries was John Adams. If you have an HBO subscription, you can watch them all online. Yeah, so actually I own Band of Brothers and The Pacific because they were both on sale. And I checked in with my friend who works at the high school where I work, and he's a history teacher, and he's also a huge history buff. He actually just got to go to Normandy because he's about to teach a World War II class, which it's so awesome. It's one of those things where I want to sit in on his classes because I bet they're going to be fantastic. And he recommended those series highly, so I checked with him before I bought them. So I'm definitely going to check those out for sure. I heard John Adams is really great too. Lost Soldier says, I like just about everything Nolan has made, but he has flaws. Interstellar was so good till he gets into the black hole. Then Love as a Dimension is lame. Yeah, I agree. Again, the first time I saw it, I hated that part because for me, he was being so based in reality. And I was really loving it. It was so great. And then he ejects out of the ship in the black hole. And immediately my mind is, no, the ship was just being torn apart. He should have been ripped to shreds. If a metal ship is being torn apart by the pressure of the black hole, then he should not survive. And I agree. I think there were flaws, but I will say, knowing that was going to come made me appreciate more of the other elements and pick up on certain things that I think help to explain that and make that a little bit easier to swallow. RT says, I think he's joking about the octopus. I really hope so. Tal has said he finally got to it. RT says Steph is out of control. No, she's not. C-Dog says, I just finished watching the Clone Wars trailer. I was thinking, what if they cast Kerry Russell as Ahsoka Tano for episode 9? The timing of this release is real sketchy. I don't know if she's going to be Ahsoka. I think there's a better chance that she would be Mara Jade, which even that is still up in the air. So I don't really know what Kerry Russell's going to be, but there are so many things. Somebody says, no, I was hoping you would miss my mess. I didn't. And that was quite hilarious. So no worries, Steph. That was so funny. Let's see. Lethal says, I'm about to head to work, mate. So I'll listen on my way, mate. I won't be able to chat. Take care, everyone. Congrats again on joining the Geeks and Gamers team. Well, thank you very much, Lethal. I appreciate that. And guys, go check out his channel. He is awesome. Donald Hussett says, see, children, that's why you don't drink and text. C-Dog says, I got kicked, and now we are watching you and Ethan. Nice. Very cool. I appreciate that. I love Ethan. Backlash Hero. What is up, Backlash Hero? After you finish the Thrawn series, try Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina. I've heard really cool things about that series. So it's definitely on my radar. I think at this point, though, my plan is to do Thrawn, to do all 3 books, and then to try Darth Plagueis, because I have Darth Plagueis. But I hear that one's a little bit more dense, so I kind of want to do Thrawn and then dive into Darth Plagueis. So that's going to be on my radar, though, for sure. All right. Lost Soldier says, oh, don't get me started on how Kennedy Films, to quote Jeff Cotto, messed up the original characters and then their own characters. Yep. You're right about that. Jason Clark says, Stephanie, where is your mind tonight? Brad Noble's sex party is happening. Jay Chapazi says, you nailed my Three Amigos reference. Cheers and rock on. Hey, I love the Three Amigos so much. And so I always appreciate so much when people put songs, especially in, because I love singing. It's fun. Mission accomplished. Jay says RTE. Damn right. Brad Noble says, got to the Vader stuff in Thrawn yet? No, I have not. Again, I'm only in chapter 3 right now. So Thrawn has just arrived at the planet with the Dark Jedi, and that's where I am at that point. What is the Matrix says, how about you break some wooden boards? I can do it. Again, I'm a second degree senior black belt in karate, so I can break boards. I don't have any wooden boards with me right now, but I can. Jedi Starcher says, a little rope-a-dope, left, right, oh, haha, who down goes down solo. Yep. Brad Noble says, no men's, yeah. C-Dog says, look at the side-by-side of Ahsoka and Carrie, and I'm betting JJ's doing that. It could be interesting. I don't know. I don't know what JJ's doing. I really don't. There are so many things that he could do, but whatever he does, he has to be able to save this series from Last Jedi, but it's going to be very hard, if not impossible, for him to do so, unfortunately. RT says, wasn't there a Dunkirk film in the 50s with John Mills? I'm not sure. What does the Matrix says? Kathleen, then Hillary to jail. Brian Noble says, mini tacos. What is the Matrix? Quesadillas. Super says, oh, update on Joaquin Phoenix Joker film. The release date is set for October, so many people are thinking it'll be scary. It's being released right after It 2 and a month before Wonder Woman 84. Is it? I thought it had no, it has a 2019 release. Those films come out this year, right? No, maybe not. No, Yeah, that'd be right. Yeah, so 2019. Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. Again, I think a Joaquin Phoenix film, I'm on board. I am on board because I like Joaquin Phoenix, and I think that an origin story would be really cool, especially since it'll be separate from, it'll be an independent story of the main DCEU storyline. So I really do think it would be really good, and I think October release, if it's scary, damn, I'm hoping, here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that they make it a psychological thriller because I think that would work really well with the Joker personally. Jedi Starship says Tico refrains. RTE says ye. Let's see. Tina, thank you for shouting out the IMDb. There was indeed a Dunkirk of 1950 with John Mills. You were correct. What does the Matrix says? She ticklish. Oh, that's a good one. Lost Soldier says, Odin, are you joining the Geeks and Gamers crew? Yes. So on the live stream earlier, yeah. So Lost Soldier, you weren't there. So I was on Geeks and Gamers earlier during the live stream, and he made an announcement that he literally told me moments before we went on air that he would love me to do it, and then he went into further detail during the live chat. So I was giving my like authentic reaction. I was like, oh my God, like this is amazing. So yeah, I'm at this point, the plan is for me to do a weekly video for the channel, probably focusing mostly on box office numbers, since that's kind of my bread and butter, this thing I like to look at and analyze. So that's probably going to be what I do for the channel. But you know, we haven't laid anything down in stone yet for that, but I am definitely looking forward to that for sure. And it's gonna be fun. So I can't wait. So yeah, it looks like it's hard for me because like I'm doing a video. So that means I'm part of Geeks Gamers, right? So I'm still like, I haven't processed it yet. I'm still processing all these things. So it's amazing. So yes, thank you. Yeah, Lost Soldier. It's gonna be, yeah, I'm excited. So it's fun. Let's see, RT says, yeah, that's one. Tina, how dare you? What's the Matrix? Perth Comics, gotta go. See you next time, Odin and the Valkyries. Well, thank you, Perth Comics, for joining. Great to have you in the chat. You made some amazing comments, so please join us again. I love you, man. Let's see, what is the Matrix? How double dare you? Mr. Peabody says, the other problem with Dunkirk, the movie, was dropping in and out of the timeline without any reference, so you have to watch it several times so you can piece it together in your own head. Yeah, I was able to keep track of most of the storylines going on. It was a little off. It was a little off-putting for me. RT says, you can see the twist in Prestige coming a mile off. Maybe, but it still is a good movie. It's still a good movie. Sea-Dog says, can you imagine an Episode 9 teaser trailer with Rey fighting Ahsoka Tano in Star Wars Funeral? Sorry, I mean Star Wars Celebration. Yeah. That would be interesting. What is the Matrix going to eat? Thanks. Sounds good. By Perth. RT says, the trouble with Dunkirk is the timeline is all over the place. Yeah, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Mr. PI says, for instance, you watch a Spitfire fly overnight with no fuel. Yep. Yes, indeed. RT says, mainly with the Irish guy's character. Jedi Searcher says, Brad makes one more bad joke and he will have Tico to the corner. Lost Soldier says, Band of Brothers is mind-blowing. I like the Pacific, but not as much. I loved Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima, though. Speaking of World War II stuff, that goes well together. Yeah, so I showed this in another live stream. I actually do have like the Clint Eastwood collection, which includes Letters from Iwo Jima. It does not have Flags of Our Fathers, but I know that those two films are essentially spiritual relatives, and so I want to watch both of those films because I like a lot of Clint Eastwood's work. Get off my lawn. Lando Calrissian with the cookie. Jedi Starship says, Lando Milk Mustache. Brando says, Steph needs to sing me a love song yet. Jedi Starship says, got blue milk? I hope not. I sure hope not. Jason Clark says, so at the end of Inception, is he dreaming or awake? Anybody's opinion on that? He's awake. He's awake. He's not dreaming. And it's for one simple reason. It wobbles. In all of his dreams, it's a perfect spin, no wobble. It wobbles at the end. He's awake. And some people might say, oh, but the clothes of the kids and what they're wearing. Yes, but it's all about the top. It's all about the totem, and it wobbles. So that's the reason why he's awake. He is awake. Debate is over. He is awake. I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with that. Brando says, I want twin engines of destruction on screen. Dallas says, always got my Valkyries back. You're damn right. Mech says, another Star Wars book you may want to consider after finishing the Thrawn trilogy is Outbound Flight. Let me know more about that. Nickel Noodles says, bedtime on the East Coast. Good night, Tina and Steph. Good night, Nickel Noodles. Thank you for joining us as long as you did, and we appreciate you, man. Sunny B says, we learn something new about Odin every day. Yes, indeed. I mean, there's just so much. There's so much. I'm like an onion. There's just so many layers. There's so many layers. Brandon says it explains that henchmen get ready. Nickel Noodle says, Odin, you crushed it tonight, brother. Thumbs up. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Nickel Noodles. Thank you for joining 2 live streams in a row, and you've been rocking in the chat. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Jedi Starship says, I really miss 80s comedy. We just don't have that anymore. I don't think writers are capable of getting on that level. But also, too, the game has changed. You know, we talk about this a lot on the stream where there's so many great comedies that could not be made today. And it's because the culture has changed. The culture has become so damn PC, and it's stifling comedy. And it's just so sad because there's so many great things that could be done. And it's the culture is ruining comedy. And I agree. I think the 80s comedy was fantastic. RT says, does that mean Jared Leto is out of the DC canon? No, because this is going to be an independent story. So Jared Leto is still the Joker in the DCEU. So this is going to be an independent story instead. So it's still going to work. Richie Rich says, Ahsoka is like 20 years older than Luke. I don't think that Carrie Russell quite fits that role unless Togruta females age very well. It's a good point. Mech says, when episode 9 fails, the mucus film shills will spin it as proof that Ruin Hasno Johnson was a better director and story writer than Jar Jar Abrams and pushed for him to get that trilogy after all. Man, to be honest, I could totally see them doing that. I really hope that doesn't happen, and I really hope that JJ kind of has more control of this project and the studio can stay out of it. But man, as reading that, I'm like, yeah, they would do that. At this point, they would do that for sure. Jeffertoon says, my friend told me that Thrawn was killed by a giant space octopus in Rebels. I think he was lying. I sure hope not. I hope he didn't spoil anything for me, man. Let's see. Brad Noble says, Mini Taco, just so Odin reads it again. Mini Taco. Oh, that's a shame. RTE. Don Hudson says, if it's a scary Joker movie released around Halloween, I might be tempted to watch it, especially if it's a psychological thriller, which I think fits the Joker very well. Damn right. I will be there opening night. Lost Soldier says, to be honest, I do want to see Joaquin as a Joker, or at least a preview of it. Me too. I think he's going to knock it out of the park. I think it's going to be very similar to the Heath Ledger one where it just blew everyone away. I think Joaquin is going to blow everyone away. I really do. Brad Noble removed. C-Doc says, how about Ahsoka beats Rey and subverts their own expectations, and Rey is beaten down by a trained Jedi who earned her position over Rey? Yes. Yes, absolutely, C-Dog. I agree with you. Donald Hessa says, Odin's not sleeping tonight. Too busy nerding out tonight for the All-Father. I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be heading to bed, relatively soon. Probably I'm going to try and go to like 11 Central Standard Time because since my wife's not here, I don't have to worry about being too loud. But yeah, so I'm still definitely nerding out. You're right about that. Law Soldier says, BRB. Brad Noel says, Odin, finish the books, damn it. I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to you right now. I can't finish it. River. I'm going to let my dogs in a second. Lobster says, congrats on joining Geeks and Gamers, brother. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Pedro HSK says, Ahsoka could have become a Time Walker after her experience in the world between worlds. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil anything. I know that stuff's already been established. I know that stuff's been out for a while. I've heard of the world between worlds, but I don't really know a lot about it. Ortiz says, Killian Murphy, I meant. Killian Murphy's fantastic. Warren Stamp, another man baby for the crib. Awesome that you're joining Geeks and Gamers. The Rebel Alliance is getting stronger. You're damn right about that, and thank you very much. I appreciate that so much. Again, I'm still in shock. I still have not quite accepted that is the case at this point, but I'm so grateful. I'm so incredibly grateful. Donald Hazard says, who's making fun of the Irish? Don't make me get drunk and beat some R's. Hey, I'm Irish too, man, so I understand that. Don't make fun of the Irish. C-Dog says, I still don't care, but I could see this as an attempt to repair fandom. I do too. That's what I think it is. Let's see. Super says, opinions on the movie Memento. Excellent. Excellent film. That to me is a film, especially dealing with the concept of time, that does so well. Like, it took me one viewing to be able to appreciate that film, but if you want to talk about movies to see more than one time, that is at the top of most people's list, and it's fantastic. RT says, I can't see Murphy in a Star Wars film, to be honest. He might. I could see him. Cillian Murphy's great. I like him a lot. I think he could do a good job. C-Dog says, I totally agree one movie too late, but think about JJ did with Khan and Star Trek Into Darkness. I didn't mind it as much. Again, I'm not a big Trekkie. I'm not a big Trekkie like I know Random is, and I know Random probably has a lot of thoughts on Star Trek if she's still here, but I did not have a problem with the Star Trek films. I actually liked all three. 2 is definitely the weakest by far. That is true, but I do like them. All right, Jesse Clark says, it's falling behind in the chat. I'm only 4 minutes behind at this point. RT says, Hex is easier to type. Lost Soldier says, Odins are like onions. They have layers. How Odins are like, I can't do the Shrek voice. I can't do that one. Tina says, when you read this, it will be 11:42 Eastern Standard Time, and it is 10:46. Wait, what? 10:42? 10:46? Yeah, so it's 11:46 right now. So it was great on Geeks and Gamers, says Brad Noble. Well, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Also says, please remove Jared Leto from my memory as the Joker. Yeah, it was not good at all. Brad says, not sucking up. It was just fun. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Artie says, yeah, Benedict could definitely pull off Thrawn. He's tall and has gaunt features. Yeah, and also the voice that the voice actor is doing on the audiobook, it sounds a lot like Benedict Cumberbatch. Hold on, guys. I'm going to let my pups in really quick because they've been out for a while. Come on, pups. Come on. Please don't poop. That would be great. Let's hope the dogs don't poop. Oh, you missed me? You missed me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, now they're going crazy. Dodd, we missed you, Dodd, we missed you. Yes, I missed you so much. Those are my dog voices. Makita Good, what's up? Congratulations on your appearance on Geeks and Gamers. I geeked out when I got the notification at work. Looking forward to your future appearances. Well, thank you very much, Makita. I appreciate that so much. And yeah, I'm so excited too. Let's see. Jedi Starship says, shaking my head, Ahsoka would beat The Last Jedi Luke easily, but not EU Luke. Hell, I think any Padawan can beat. Hi. That was River. I think any Padawan can beat Last Jedi Luke when I come think of it. Enough. Those are my dogs. They're crazy. Brad Noble says, Warren, I know. Welcome, sir. Pedro says, JJ won't save 9. He can't finish his stuff. Possibly. RT says, oh, I see Mega Man is cool. I call you Mev then. Jason Clark says, I agree he is awake at the end as well, but I've had a lot of arguments that he's asleep. Again, I've heard the same arguments, but I do think he's awake. There's a wobble. So anybody says, I heard a bark. Yep, that's the puppy. Mr. Peabody says, Odin, Steffertina, can you tell me the time there so I can mark the time difference so you can tell me on what time you were on? I can watch it. Yes, so right now it's 10:48 where I am. It's 10:48 Central Standard Time. Jeffrey Toon says, who barked, Jerry or Feckley? I don't know which one's which yet at this point, but that was River who was barking. Jason Clark says, Odin is a bearded ninja. Well, thank you. RT says, I didn't come up with it. Backlash was another commenter. Okay, can't take credit. Donald Hudson says, fear the fandom menace. You're damn right about that. You are damn right about that. Mr. PI says, I know it's roughly 12 hours. Damn. Law Soldier says, JJ built flaws, and so Last Jedi killed The Force Awakens. Ryan Johnson ruined Last Jedi, so hopefully Jar Jar's episodes 9.1, 9.10 will kill Last Jedi once and for all, retconning most of it. I would love that. I would love for them to retcon it. If they can, I feel like that's the only way to make the trilogy make sense is if you retcon most of Episode 8, then Episode 9 can then move forward from that. Brandon says, remember, we are toxic fans and hate Star Wars. Yeah, exactly. We hate Star Wars. That's why we hate talking about Star Wars. That's why we hate saying that we're excited for certain characters and we're excited to read books and we're excited to do all these other things because we hate Star Wars, right? We hate Star Wars. Let's see. Sea-Dog says, this is exactly how Lucasfilm repairs the fandom. They keep Rey and they introduce Ahsoka Tano to appease to true fans. Spoiler, Rey's voice is heard in the background in the world between worlds. Lost Soldier says, I want Luke back to life, not Jake. Luke, so I think all of us do. Timbertune says, I think Jeremy Geeks Gamer said he would like to see Cumberbatch as Thrawn. That would be awesome. I totally see it. Again, from what little I know about Thrawn at this point, I think he would fit that character very well. Random says the JJ movies are not Trek, in my opinion. And I respect that because I know that you're very much into Star Trek. And as someone who did not really grow up with Star Trek, who watched Next Generation and not a whole lot of Next Generation, the films were good for me. Again, as an outsider, for a general audience member, they were good for me. Donald Hudson. Con! Susan Mayer says, EVS is talking about you on his stream. Odin, you made it for now. Sure. Awesome. What's he saying? What's he saying about me? Let me know. What is he saying about me? What's Ethan saying? Let me know. I love EVS. That's awesome. Oh my God. This is amazing. Let's see. Random says, I can forgive them since they're their own universe. Exactly. And I think that's what the films did best was they established that it is a new timeline. It is a new universe and that the old stuff still stands. I think that was the best thing they could have done. So yeah. Cumberbatch says, Cumberbatch no, says Brad Noble. System Error says, Geeks and Gamers taking you on reviews for you. EVS talking about your fight with Kasdan. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it was an interesting back and forth to say for sure. Artie says, I think Doggy wants to do something. No, do not tempt my dogs. Sea-Dog says, Cumberbatch as Thrawn. I was thinking Fassbender. Fassbender could do it too. Those would be really great, really great choices. Ratboy says, has your wife ever been in the chat with us live, or is she like, you go have fun with your Space War show? You're right. That's exactly what she's like. She's like, you go have fun. Yeah, she's never watched it. She's never been in the chat, and she's gonna make an appearance on the chat one day. She's open to that. But it's gonna be interesting because she is very different than me. When they say opposites attract, we have a lot in common. We have a lot of similar interests, but she does not feel the same way about Star Wars that I do. As far as she liked The Last Jedi. She liked The Force Awakens. She's not really getting, she does not really accept all of the stuff that we're talking about. So that will be an interesting conversation for sure. I was thinking Hardy. Tom Hardy would be cool. I do like Tom Hardy. Jedi Starship says, Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. Oh, God. Now we have to go through months of his mental condition as he gets into the character like he did the last time with the beard phase. No offense to you. Oh, no offense taken. But you know what, though? That's what leads to a good performance. So that's the reason why I'm excited for it. Pedro says, Ra, my 3-year-old son has a t-shirt exactly like yours. Nice. I appreciate that. Jason Clark says, Doomcock is awesome. I agree. RTE says, nah, Hardy's ear sticks out too much. Donald Hudson says, careful, it's episode 9, Revenge of the Pups. Yep, at this point it is. Mr. PY says, of course they missed you. They can hear you having fun. I know. That's why I feel bad for him, because I would love to have him in here all the time, but they chew apart my futon. They're biting the wood of my futon, and it's falling apart. And then they poop in the room, and I have to pick up the poop. And then I gain users somehow. I gain followers and viewers for some reason when I pick up poop. It doesn't make any sense. C-Dog says, but the real question is, will they connect episode 9 to Rebels and Clone Wars? My answer is that is absolutely. Could be. And that could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what they do. Lost Soldier says, Luke wasn't in Last Jedi. That was Jake. Luke was only in the OT. Let's see. One Bridge 11 says, are your sons named Thor and Loki? Don't have any children yet, but as Odin, yes, that is their names. And my wife's name is Freya. RT says, Thrawn doesn't have a mask, and a mask won't hide ears. Oh, come on. Jedi Starship says, Jake Skywalker or possibly Luke Skywalker. Wink, wink. RT says, I want to see Jake Skywalker enter the fold. System Error says, Odin EVS is reading your entire Twitter fight. Oh, wow. So whoever was asking about that, Sea-Dog, I think you were asking about that earlier. Go watch EVS right now if you want, because he's going through the entire conversation. That's amazing. Let's see. System says, oh, he called you antagonistic. Start a fight with EVS. I'm antagonistic. Come on, EVS. Come on over. Let's have a chat. Let's see. Super says, no, this is random, but opinions on the movies Drive and Layer Cake. Oh, so Layer Cake is a movie that I own. I have not seen yet. I really want to see it. I like Daniel Craig, so I think it would be really cool. I hear that's kind of the movie that got him the role for James Bond. Drive, though, I like. Drive is definitely odd. To me, Drive balances it has the perfect balance of art house film and mainstream action. And I feel like it tiptoes that line throughout. It's definitely more art house for it might be too art house for a lot of people, but I love the music for that film is just awesome. Brad Noble says, someone that pulls off cold and calculating studies art. My ex-wife. RG says, random is hardcore Trekkie. What are you doing? Are you ripping paper? Don't rip paper. Sorry, I gotta watch my dogs at all times. Tina says, oh my gosh, the other person was right. Uncle Ethan is reading your Twitter stuff with Kasdan. Oh my God, that's amazing. RT says the films, I can't wait to watch that later. RT says the films will not be accepted. Mr. PI says, thank you. You are 13 hours behind Perth, Western Australia. Damn. Hey, Perth, that is the hometown of Heath Ledger. Fun fact. This is exciting, 70B. I know this is insane. 16 behind me, RT. Reno says, go Odin, go Odin. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. System says, he says you busted Kasdan's balls. Oh, I'm glad he appreciated that. That's awesome. Oh my God. This is fantastic. I can't believe that Ethan Van Skyver is reading my tweets. That's fantastic. Let's see. RT says, didn't Beyond just recycle the con thing? I don't think so. Sammy says, Freya. RT says, I haven't seen the original films. C-Dog says, I don't have to watch your video involving your Twitter fight with Kasdan Jr. Yeah, exactly. You can just watch that stream, and he's going through all of it for you. Tina says, just discussing that we wish we knew how much Soilo did lose. Oh, and that Kasdan needs to stay away. Yep, absolutely. The hilarious Honcho. What's up, hilarious Honcho? And where have I dropped into? You've dropped into Asgard, and you are more than welcome to join us, good sir. Jedi Starship says, you guys heard that Mark Hamill shaved recently, so does this mean he's done with filming, or that he will appear as a Force ghost, looking younger? In the matter of, is the matter of speculation. Yeah, I mean, I think that he I would say there's about a 90% certainty that he's coming back for episode 9. But I would say that the most likely option is that he's going to be a Force ghost. I think that's what most people think at this point. But there's also speculation of, are they going to try and bring him back in some way? Is time travel going to be brought in? Is maybe teleportation going to be brought in? There's so many questions. And so there's so many things they can do with Luke. But Luke is going to be back. And the shaving, to me, just does not mean anything at this point. That's just my thought. Warren Stamp says, Lucasfilm can rant and slam fans all at once. It might make them feel superior, but they're the ones watching the franchise hemorrhage money down the drain. You're right. You're absolutely right. Brad Noble says, hide your kids. Super says, at least Joaquin Phoenix played it cool and kept his talent. We could have another Shia LaBeouf on our hands. That is true. That is true. Let's see. System Error says, EVS to Odin, you are an antagonistic ball buster. Oh my God. He said that? He said, my dogs are like, congratulations, Dad, as we destroy your stuff. If anyone's an antagonistic ball buster, it's this puppy right here. Sorry, she's being it's the one that's talking right now. That's River. That's amazing. Oh my God. Let's see. Brad Noel says, I'm dumb as hell. System Error says, but he said you have points. He was fair. He was just pointing out that Kasdan was behaving himself. Yeah. RT says he's seen Layer Cake. RT says, and got Ben Wilshaw the Q role. Yeah, that's true. I didn't. Oh, so he's in. Oh, sorry, I didn't know that. So, I didn't know that he was in Layer Cake too. That's awesome. Makita says, oh, wow, that is awesome. I know, that's insane. Mr. PI says, if Ripper and Willow poop next to each other, would that be the start of the next Clone War? Yes. Yes, it would be. You're right about that. Let's see. Super says, wait, Clone Wars, at least as I remember it, is just the good TV version of the Star Wars prequels. Wouldn't it just tie into episode 4? How could they tie it to episode 9? I'm sure they'd find a way. There would be something introduced in the show where, well, one way to do it is to bring Ahsoka into the universe. So that way Ahsoka is introduced to the story in the Clone Wars TV show, and therefore it would be a way to connect them. So that's how they would probably connect it. Lost Soldier loved Layer Cake. Jefferson says Luke may appear clean shaven as a Force ghost. I think that's very likely. Entertainment Hacker says, saw you on Geeks and Gamers. Real cool. Congrats. Seen you before that. Just saying, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining us. And thank you so much for that shout. I appreciate it so much. Brad Noble says, Thunder got louder. Steph is doxing me. C-Dog says, then they do the whole thing with the Force Ghost Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and Luke with Ahsoka before she strikes down Rey. Before she strikes Rey down, that would be epic and good, so that would never happen. I know, right? So it's amazing, so that means that we're not going to get it, right? Because that seems to be what they do. Jedi Starship says, I will never see Twilight ever. As I am an Anne Rice fan, all the novels, I cannot desecrate these eyes to watch teenage shining vampires with emo emotions. Yes, and as someone who has read the first book, yes, I've read the first Twilight. Why? Because I wanted to be able to say the book sucked and not have little teen girls say, oh, you don't know, you've never read it. I have read it. I suffered through that damn book, and it sucks. It's the same reason why I watched the first 2 seasons of Girls, so that way I could say, Girl sucks, Lena Dunham sucks. Oh, but you've never even watched the show. I have. I suffered through all 2 seasons and chuckled one time because Adam Driver is hilarious, and only chuckled one time, and it was an episode that she didn't even write. So, yeah, I know about pain, guys. I've watched Girls. I've watched Twilight. I know about pain. Jeffertoon says, why did they change Anakin Skywalker from Sebastian Shaw to Hayden Christensen in the remaster of Return of the Jedi? Why didn't McGregor replace Guinness as Kenobi? Great question, and that's the reason why I love my despecialized editions, because that doesn't happen. To me, I don't like that they just erased Sebastian Shaw. I think that was silly. I think that was stupid. Again, that's the reason why I love my specialized editions, because they don't have that nonsense. It's the originals as they were meant to be. Pedro says, wouldn't it be nice to subvert our expectations and make Luke live again? You know what? That would be awesome. System Error says, overall EVS verdict, you smacked down an idiot with solid points, but the idiot was polite. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Man, I appreciate that. Jason Clark says, oh, yeah, Ethan Van Sciver is talking you up right now live on his channel. He is giving you mad respect over the Kasdan tweets. Oh, that's awesome. Sorry, I'm geeking out. So much geeking out today. Oh, my God. Again, I did not expect this. So this is fantastic. Brian Noble says, it's JJ bet on Polar Bear. Sea-Dog says they probably will throw in cracked out Force Ghost Yoda since they need all the nostalgia they can get. As long as it's a puppet, that could be cool. Mattuine, what's up, Mattuine? That's new to the channel. Enjoyed seeing you on Geeks and Campers today. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Hey, River, please stop. I want to join the stream, Dad, but don't pick me up. Well, thank you very much, Mattuine. I appreciate that. Hey, stop. Let's see. Hey, behave. Hey, behave. I love you. We gotta behave. River. Sorry, guys. My dogs are just, I love them, but they're driving me crazy. Stop climbing on that side. I put that there. Hopefully that blocks you. Man, oh man. Anyway, thank you, Matsuine. Jeffrey Toon. Could you please stop? Please? I would appreciate that. Thank you. As soon as I turn away. Anyway, Jeffrey Toon says, I like the Vampire Masquerade mythos. Brian Noble says, well, I was drugged through the mud and redeemed. Jeffrey Toon says, hate emo vamps blurg. I agree. Pedro says, by the way, Clone Wars is between 2 and 3. Yeah, that's what I thought the placement was. Super says they might not even do time travel or teleportation at all because Luke vanished into the Force. So JJ might just find a way to force him to rematerialize. I agree, but I do think the reason why I'm more into that, if he's not just a Force ghost, the reason why I'm more keen to look at them playing with time travel or something to that effect is because there are so many mistakes in episode 8 that retconning it with time travel would actually do it justice, in my opinion. So maybe Twilight is stupid. It's so damn stupid. Brad Noble says all wrongfully timed to join John Wick. Oh my God, dude. John Wick is one of the best franchises out right now. I mean, oh guys, if you've never seen John Wick, do yourself a favor and go watch it right now because it's that good. Mech says, Twilight and girls, you're a masochist. Yes, some people would say so, but you know what, though? I can then say with all the confidence in the world that it sucks, and then when they come back and say, you've never seen it, I can say, I did. I did. I watched it. I read it. And guess what? It's trash. Change my mind. You can't because it's garbage. Brad Noel says, getting my coins out. Shin Phil, what's up, Shin Phil? I think getting more of Clone Wars is a step in the right direction. If only JJ could grow some balls, give KK the middle finger, and make a great movie with Luke alive, I can dream, don't judge. That is a dream, and I hope it comes true. I really do. Super says, however, if he does that, then he's going to have to explain why Yoda hasn't come back. That's true. That is true. Don Hudson says, Twilight is a bane to the vampire and a werewolf genre. I agree. Backlash Hero says, I have 5 daughters. Oh my God. I've been forced to watch all the Twilight movies. I know suffering. Oh my God. I know you know suffering. That is awful. I only saw the first Twilight movie, but I worked at a movie theater. And so when the last one came out, I had to work that weekend and it sucked because it was just a bunch of teens getting their damn ices being just, oh, it was awful. And anyway, I got to sit in at the very end of the movie and it was so stupid. So, oh man, I feel so bad. Brad almost says, geek out, brother. I am. I'm still geeking out. Is that a porg, Matsui? No, it's just my puppies. Mex says, sounds like River and Willow want to go to bed. I think they might. I really do think they might. Lost Soldier says, oh my God, I hated Twilight. Loved Anne Rice. Loved White Wolf. Huge into vampire mythology, but Disco Sparkle vampires in Twilight were the worst. And my wife dragged me to them all. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. I'm so glad my wife's not into that garbage. I really am. But man, that sounds awful. Let's see. Donald Hudson says, your dogs have beautiful singing voices. Thank you. My neighbor, my mean neighbor doesn't think that, but I appreciate you. Jedi Star says, I don't think I like the idea of Ahsoka tied to these new movies. She was never mentioned anywhere. Hasn't done anything of relevance that we know of. Again, I think there's mixed feelings on that. Lost Soldier says, I had PTSD over the final stupid Twilight ending. Especially when the older man who is a wolf has like a sexual desire for the baby. That whole thing was just stupid. Susamara says, your dog would eat Jeremy's dog. His dog looks like a cross with a porg. Oh, I love Leia. Leia's so cute. Jeffrey Toon says, Sebastian Shaw was a Shakespearean actor of some standing, and Lucas thinks, let's replace him with Darth Petulance. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, you replace an incredible actor with Hayden Christensen. No. Let's see. Tina says, ran across this video today on YouTube. It's about Raylo's lightsaber skills. Suck. Video made by someone who looks like a Renaissance recreator. Please tweet at that. Tweet at me with that. Send me that in the group message on Twitter with Steph, and I'd appreciate that. I'd be able to watch that. Mr. PI says, that's the puppy's discussing Last Jedi. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, Dad. It sucks. Stop talking about it, please. Brad Noble says, Steph Rock on Twitter. Follow her. She is awesome. Please follow Steph. Steph and Tina, if you want to shout out your Twitters, please do that because y'all are awesome. C-Dog says, I guess I'm writing my own episode 9 after I just finished my rewrite for episode 8, The Lost Jedi. Not The Last Jedi. My version explains the fall of Ben Solo to Snoke due to all of his family problems. Sounds a lot more compelling and interesting and on the nose. The Joe Show, I wish Blade was in Twilight. Yep, me too, because that would be amazing. Brad Noble will get away from me or not. Jedi Starship says Ahsoka would be in her 70s years in time of episodes 7, 8, and 9. What are you doing? What are you eating? Really? Really? I'm glad I didn't need to use this for anything. So my dogs find stuff and then they destroy them because that's just what they do. You still have a piece? You still have a piece? That's plastic. Why are you eating that? Sorry. Do you still have a piece? How many pieces of plastic do you have in your mouth? River! River! Where is it? Ugh. Got it. Oh my goodness. Like, look at this. Look at that. It's gross. It's gross, River. It's disgusting. Donald Hudson, Blade 4 Twilight Revenge. Yes. Jeffrey Toon, Blade Twilight crossover would be good. Please, if someone can make a fan film of that, that would be awesome. Brad says, oh God, high school jobs. I worked at a theater in my 20s. That was not a high school job. But yeah, the high schoolers were awful. C-Dog says, 80% of my rewrite is all about Ben Solo, which establishes an actual character arc. Already sounds better. Already sounds so much better. Brad Noble in a sucky way. Mech says, so what do you think of HK-47? Awesome. So thank you for Max sent me some videos of the robot from what was that? Knights of the Old Republic, and yeah, hilarious. I wish the voice actor was a little bit better, a little bit more sarcastic in his tone, but the lines are fantastic. I love it. So thank you for sending me those. Trazzy says, Jeremy sent me. What's up, Trazzy? Welcome to the chat. 7B, thanks for shouting out the Twitter. You can shout out your own Twitter as well. Donald Hudson says, please don't slay Edward. He's a vegan vampire. Edward's burst into flames as a sword blade pierces his heart. And I think that's something that all of us would want to see. Pedro says, Bunny Cola is a vegan vampire. Loster says, my wife was pregnant with our middle son and made me wait in line for her for 4 hours after getting off my shift. Oh my God, that's love. Like, I was going to say that's pain, but you know what? Lost Soldier, that is love. Jedi Starship says, River. Jason Clark says, well, headed to bed. It's getting late. Goodbye, chat, everyone. Well, Jason Clark, thanks for joining us. I'm not going to be on for too much longer. Thanks for being here as long as you have been. I always appreciate it. Jedi Starship says, oh, yeah, Blade versus Twilight. That's River. That is River. I'd want to pick her up, but every time I do that and I put my phone down, the chat resets, and I don't want to do that. I'm only a minute behind, though, so maybe I'll do that towards the very end. Shinville, though, Machine Killer Dogs. Blade versus Twilight. Oh, sweet blood nectar. That'd be amazing. System says, can't believe I missed the poo yesterday. Let's get another one, River, when he's looking at his phone. No pooping. Oh, hi. Oh, Willow was just staring into my soul. So cute. Jefferton says, yeah, HK-47's a psycho. He's cool. Yeah, really cool. Donald says, if I was in Aliens 2, you'd see a Hudson who lives. Tina says, sent you both the links to that Rey's lightsaber skills suck video. Awesome. I saw the notification, so I can't wait to check that out. Mech says, I love that HK-47 calls every organic a waterlogged meat bag. Yes, I love that too. And I love how it just kept coming up. And yes, I totally agree. It's fantastic. 70B, yes. So guys, go check out 70B on Twitter. She is amazing. She is fantastic. So go check out that link. Game over, man. Game over. Lila Lang says, just popping in to increase Odin's watch time so the algorithm will favor him, kind of like how I want Gal Gadot to favor me more. Well, thank you, Lila. I appreciate that. Super says, am I the only one who thought the two main leads picked for Twilight weren't even that good looking either? I swear I don't know what teen girls saw in that movie. Neither do I, but you know what? The mind of a teenage girl is a scary place. Cito says, my episode 8 shows Rey and Ben as Padawans of Luke Skywalker and actually follows what JJ wrote for episode 7. Oh, by the way, Rey is Kenobi's granddaughter, period. Nice. Very nice. I'm actually caught up with the chat, guys. That's awesome. That's fantastic. So, guys, yeah, it's 11:11. It's not really 11:11, so don't make a wish because 11:11 is 11:11 a.m. Right now, it's 23:11. So, but because it is 11:11 p.m., I'm going to start wrapping things up. So, let's see. Do we have any other comments? So Donald Hudson says 54 likes. Is that a record for during the live chat? Yes, that is absolutely a record. So yeah, we hit 54 likes during this stream, which is a record for viewership. And 54 likes is also a record during an actual stream, during the course of a stream. So that means it hopefully will only grow from there. So yeah, that's awesome. 70B says it caught us. Damn right I did. So let's see any other comments. Super says, that's why I had all but friends in high school. Yeah, I was in that middle ground where I had friends in all these different groups, but I wouldn't consider myself to be popular. Let's see. Jefferson says, have you seen Dog Soldiers, the British werewolf movie? They edited it for America for some reason. I did not. I have not seen that. Lilo says, my ex-girlfriend in high school was obsessed with Twilight. It was terrible. Ugh. I'm just so glad. I'm glad my wife's obsessed with Harry Potter, which is something that I can at least accept and understand and like. Unlike that, Jefferson says British. Arnie says like 54. Yeah, I mean, it was insane. We got it's like 54 people. It's absolutely. So if you are in here and you did not like the video yet, please give that thumbs up. I would appreciate that so much. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, I would also appreciate that as well. All right. So any last minute comments? Because I know there's a slight delay, but any last minute comments before I wrap things up? Super says, all guy friends, auto stupid correct. Pedro says, check what I found in 5 seconds. Blade vs. Twilight, the original version. Go to YouTube, search. Well, please, Pedro, do you have Twitter? Tweet that video at me so I can watch it. Because I'm going to forget. I have terrible short-term memory. Tracy says, Dog Soldiers, great movie. Leo says, I was a teen when Twilight was in its peak. Damn. Richie Rich says, don't forget to sub to Skyman Universe. Yes, thank you for that. If you can tweet that at me too, or maybe if one of my Valkyrie can message that to me as well. That way, in fact, you know what, Valkyrie? If there's a suggestion that I say, that I ask y'all to let me know about, just put it in that group chat that we have. So that way I can just go through that stream and be able to go through all the things that I need to check out. Backlash Year says, a big day for you, Odin. You did good today. Hope to be in more of these with you. Have a good night. Well, thank you, Backlash Year. I appreciate you. I hope that you can be in more of these chats as well. I do it almost every night. With my wife out of town, I'm definitely going to be doing it for the next couple of days. So I'm doing one tomorrow, and I'm going to be doing one probably Saturday night. My wife gets back Saturday. I'm just not sure what time yet. So she might be tired, and so I might be able to do a live stream then. But yeah, I appreciate you for being here. Sammy says, y'all are so great. Thank you for chatting and the jokes and the time spent here. Yes, thank you all very much. Arnie says, no, I was the like 54. Oh, nice. Well, thank you, Arnie. I appreciate that. Mr. BI says, pain and suffering is watching Amy Schumer do. Oh my God, don't get me started on Amy Schumer. Oh, she's just not funny. She's not funny. Trainwreck, the movie, was a giant train wreck. It was not funny at all, and she's insufferable. Brad Noel says, a puzzle trapped in a box with wrapping paper. C-Dog says, Han, Leia, and Chewie visit Ben while he's training with his uncle as his parents' relationship gets worse. Only Leia and Chewie visit in the end. Chewie's the only one watching over Ben. Jefferson says, love Dog Soldiers. It's very funny. I was say, I don't know why you put a sad face. Tina says, I feel bad for any guy who had to accompany his wife or girlfriend to a Twilight movie. That's borderline unconstitutional. No cruel and unusual punishment. But tell me this before we go. What is worst? Someone bringing their significant other to Twilight or 50 Shades of Grey? Which one is worse? Let me know. Jeffrey Toon says, Amy Schumer is a horrible person. I agree. And she also steals jokes. There's a lot of evidence of her stealing jokes too. John Hudson says, good night, Asgard. Gonna hop back across the Bifrost before Heimdall closes up for the night. Well, thank you, Donald Hudson, for that. 70B deal. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Stephanie B. Let's see. Just Super says Amy Schumer is insufferable. I said that same thing. We're on the same page, man. Tina says, gotcha. Awesome. Thank you. Jeffertune, Night People, Joe Show, check Twitter when you get a chance. I will. I absolutely will. I know I've been getting like blown up on notifications, so I definitely will do that. Brad Noble says, sorry, Jeffertune just leads the dark army to kill us all. Arnie says, good night. Good night. She's irritating, says Trazzy. I agree. Night to everyone. Come back when you get the notification. An hour later, says 70B. Yep, damn right. YouTube, get your crap together. I almost said it. Oh, I almost said it. I didn't say it. I kept myself from it. Get your crap together. Brad Noble, fun chat. Sorry for Steph. Jedi says Amy Schumer reprises the role as zombie Holdo back from the dead. Oh God, that would be the perfect role for her though. Super says I'm going to be on vacation next week, so don't know if I can join the chats, but I'm going to try. It's supposed to rain while I'm there, so please help me. I will do the best that I can. I'll work whatever magic I can. But you know, if you can't be here, that's fine. I appreciate you just being here as often as you are. Legal says she was a sweet girl, but I couldn't handle all her Twilight nonsense, especially when you're a Vader fanboy. Absolutely refused to sit through Twilight no matter how much she tried. Hey, good on you, man. Tina says they're both awful. I can't distinguish between garbage. Yeah, I agree. Cena says transferring Han's life debt to his son and childhood friend. Ben loses control due to his parents' relationship problems and kills one of Luke's Jedi trainees in a fit of rage force push. That makes a lot more sense. Mr. PI says, can you give a rough time you will be streaming? So for tomorrow, since I'm going to try and get a video up around the same time, I might try and go on early, so between 6 and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's probably going to be the time I go on tomorrow. Let's see. Mex says, good night, everyone. Great stream as always, both here and with Geeks and Gamers. Well, thank you very much, Mex. I appreciate that very much. Trazzy says, good night, dude. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you, Trazzy, too. So thank you. Please join us once again. Brandon says, is death an option? He doesn't want to choose between the two. Yeah. Unfortunately, death is not an option. You have to choose one. Jedi Starship says, good night, everyone. Last note, sorry again, Brad. It's okay, Jedi Starship. We all make mistakes. Super says, thanks for hosting another great chat through, and congrats on Geeks and Gamers night, everyone. Well, thank you, Super. I appreciate that so much. Donald Husson, still no notification. Not surprised. Tina says, so proud of you about Geeks and Gamers. Remember us little people when you're in the big time. Hey, I will always remember my Valkyrie, and I'll always remember everybody here, so do not worry about that. Shin Phil says, High Council rules. It does. Richie Rich says, good night, all love and cookies for the Valkyries. Yes, tip your Valkyries with those digital cookies. Tip them. We are here all week, says Tina. Damn right, Stephanie and Tina. Take care. Everyone says, Lethal Sea Dog, night, man babies, and woman babies. Yes, good night to everyone. Guys, go ahead and subvert all those expectations in your life. Have a great night. And as always, God bless. 70B, so proud of you. Your watch has ended. Makita, thank you so much for the digital cookies. Yes, thank you all so much. Y'all are amazing. Love you all. God bless. Have a good one, guys.